Look at what it did to the camera. Look at the camera. Yeah. Oh, Logitech is like, yeah, this is ideal. This should be totally fine, says Logitech. I've calibrated myself to the parameters that you set out. So this is the best. This is the greatest camera configuration that I have that I can implement in order to give you proper video for your experience using a webcam. Says Logitech. This is what Logitech thinks is okay. What the fuck? What is this? How is this even remotely acceptable? All right, so this is why we have calibration buttons. So do the face procedure. Look at that, all that wonderful info is there. Wow, I look a lot more tired than I feel today. I look a lot more tired than I feel today. I don't really feel as, it looks like I woke up like with my face like 90 degrees into a pillow, or sorry, like 0 degrees, just directly into a pillow, which I may have, but I don't feel all that tired. What's up, Hairbrain? How you doing? So let's do the other procedures. Let's do the burn the subs procedure. That one looks like it was okay though. And then do the arm forensics. How you doing? Ugh. Okay, there we go. I figure I've got another one stream project here that I kind of want to knock out. That's what today is going to be. We're just gonna knock out a project, and then I need to 3D print it, obviously. As I typically do, I read the comments in chat backwards by accident because I try to get the latest and greatest first. And Hairbrain just said enough, but no, he said good enough. He feels good enough today. Or how's it going? The answer is good enough. But it was just like enough of this. We're back to Metronomic Live. I'll find some other game audio that I can use to do background music as well, but I always default back to Metronomic Live because he has good mixes. And I got the new set of screwdrivers. It's a hell of a lot smaller. Yeah, enough backwards. No, not like that. Don't start writing backwards. You're all gonna break my brain. I'm already trying to train it not to read things in that order. Man, nobody's around, huh? Is that a rerun? Yeah. Oh, I need to clean up this back deck area too. We should do that Nixie circuit soon. The Arduino powered Nixie current monitor for the computer. I don't know when I'm gonna want to do that. It's that and burn the subs we need to start back up on. So. And then eventually I'll have to get a live edge board from the hardware store. Hey, I can also glue these things in there. Glue the carbon fiber rods to where they go. No, don't save the map view. Go to map view, alerts, text, blah, blah, blah. Show PA turnpike only, weather stations, forecast, active radar, cameras. Cameras. There's a camera. You. Well then. Interesting. Streaming video. Okay. That's just text that happens to be underlined. Every single one's gonna be like that, huh? In Pittsburgh, there's a section of the interstate called the bathtub because every time the river rises a little bit, it floods. Ugh. Sounds terrible. Images unavailable. Alright. So we can't get the view. Maybe if I look up the fish ladder. Maybe there's a fish ladder webcam. What was it called again? Fairmount Fish Ladder? Fairmount Fish Ladder webcam. Fish ladder cam. That's not, what is that? Wait a minute. Is this like a bypass? Is this not what I thought it was? I guess this is something else. Live thrives at Fairmount. Oh, so it actually is like, the fish ladder is not what I was talking about. It's this thing. And I guess this little section right here is the fish ladder. Let's see. Schuylkill rowing basin cam, maybe. Means I gotta spell Schuylkill again. Rowing basin webcam. Schuylkill River, Philadelphia, PA, USGS. This is gonna be the one that didn't load. Why isn't this one loading? PA Water, US webcam, gov, blah, blah, blah. It's like just a JPEG. Div class scaled webcam, block system clear fix? I don't know. Well, that's annoying. Maybe if I use a different browser. Yeah, or maybe the camera's underwater. Oh, it corrected my spelling. Oh well. It's pronounced Schuylkill. Or Schuylkill, depending on, you know, how deep your accent is. That's just the map. I don't need the map. I want a webcam. I want to see what the aftermath of all the rain is. That's basically what it is. Yeah. There's, you know, we had what, Ida or something come through, the hurricane, and so all that water's finding a place to go. Most of it's finding its way into the river. What we saw earlier was a view somewhere around here, I believe. I think that was the south. Yeah, we were looking directly at the South Street Bridge, which actually that's where Continue Show filmed a little thing that they did. But yeah, that webcam was somewhere around here, I think. And it was a little further in, right? Well, it actually might have just been from one of the skyscrapers over by City Hall. But anyway, either way, we were looking at a view of this, basically. This area. And I want to know what this area up here looks like, because it's a little bit more relevant in terms of what the high side of the water's at. Anyway, I could probably drive through there. I didn't know the fish ladder was a thing and that it actually had a webcam on it. The music is from Metronomic Live, playing a mix 5 days ago. Five days ago. Alright, so all my stuff should be working now. I had to restart. Oh crap. I touched the wrong part of the window and now it's gonna take me to their website. They've updated the look of all these filters and I'm too scared to update them because I don't want my settings to go away. these programs dump your settings like at the drop of a hat. And my settings are particularly tuned in order to give me good audio to you guys. I know Brett pays like $200 like a month or something for his audio filters. It's crazy. I hope the taco bar is okay. I don't think I could handle life without it. Let's see. Let me get my cell phone holder over here, and I guess we can probably get started. I look, today's not going to take that long. I don't have stuff that'll take all that long. So, I had a chicken salad wrap for lunch, and it's going to fight me a little bit. Oh, did you find one? Water Weather Gov. Okay. Oh, what is this? Is just levels? That's pretty crazy. Record is 17. We didn't quite get there. Dr. MLK Drive right there. Yep. I should do at some point. I should do a like a driving around stream. I could easily spend 5 hours driving chat around Philly. Problem would be just how I see chat, like where I see chat. Main Street in Manayunk is closed from Ridge Avenue to Liverington Street. Spaz. Train tracks. Yeah, there's some big bars around here. That used to be a Triumph dealership. Let's see. So this is like, that was like the end of the typical like bar stuff. And then there's just like a bunch of industrial stuff on Main Street, Manayunk. And then you come around to a couple things that have been kind of renovated. That used to be a Rite Aid, now it's a CVS. Some apartments and stuff like that. Then there's a big diner up here. I'm just looking for like proxy to the river, like if you could see the river from any of these places. Like there's a covered bridge there, so that's got to be pretty significantly high up from the river. So I don't know why this would be closed. Maybe just the runoff of water got to be too much. There's a diner right there, I think. You used to be a diner. I guess it's not anymore. All right, so much for that. Well, there's also a theater there, whatever that is. Ah, self-storage. Yeah, and then right here, when I said that a friend and I used to bike up the West River Drive and then go on the trails, this is where you go from West River Drive to the trails. So you got to kind of pass over a very busy area, but you come off of like Kelly Drive and the River Drive, and you can go out here into the park, and there's like a bunch of pretty nice dirt trails that lead out and around there. Okay, a giant construction vehicle's in the way. But yeah, that's up that path right there. Good times, good times. There's always people fishing off of these bridges and stuff. Yeah, I would assume that this is completely fucking buried in water. That basin is visible from the highways, not from these roads. But yeah, anyway. I just saw on the National Weather Service. which I really should have done because I don't use that much data. You know, I'm on Wi-Fi 90% of the time nowadays. I'm not traveling. I haven't been traveling for a couple years, so what I'm gonna do with all this data? It helped me watch Twitch a lot. Hey, Farhan. All right, I guess I'll begrudgingly get started here because I gotta stream something today. I gotta stream something today. We're waiting on parts. If you guys are wondering why I'm sort of like partially in the doldrums and partially just like not, I don't have anything super exciting to do, is because I'm waiting for parts. I'm, you know, having one or two projects going at once puts you in this situation where if both of the projects are, oh, is that copyright music time? That's copyright music time. Womp womp. Let's go back over to here. Start the stream right fucking now. Let's start it on this note. Chat. Oh, why didn't that turn off? My mute button is still broken. I restarted OBS and it's still broken. God damn it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna end this and then start it up again. I should have restarted the whole computer. I can't do my jokes if I can't, if I don't have control over OBS. And I need my mute button because I cough and fart and poop and stuff on stream. Test. Yeah, that's me. Still muted. There we go. I got it though. Everything works. The button is a toggle, so it didn't flip back. All right. Anyway, chat. I don't need you for ideas. I don't. Ideas are cheap. Everybody has 1,000 ideas. They're like buttholes. Everyone has a belly button. I do not need your project ideas. Everybody in every sector of everything has an idea for a project. If you're willing to pay somebody to do a project idea of yours, then I'm interested. All right? Okay. Anyway, getting on with it. The typical way that I come up with a project idea, something that I want to work on, is something that is irritating me in my life. Like, how do I delete chat? Google, how do I delete chat forever? Go to Hangouts, select the conversation. Okay. All right, I'll try that later. All right, anyway, so chat, hey. Can I pay you to burn my name on your wall? Hell yeah, you can, PhatAnon, with a tier 3. Holy shit. Let's put you up on the board. Let me get the camera situated over here. Over here. There's too much stuff on this desk. The other thing we can work on, obviously, is the stream PC, but I need to sit down, I think, on my own and work on that. Maybe we'll work on that tomorrow, the stream computer. But you should know that as somebody who does projects publicly, there's no shortage of people who want to tell you their idea. The thing about your idea is that you should do it. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe you'll discover all the little shortfalls that come along the way. PhatAnon, welcome to the board. You're by another junglist, and diarrhea runs in the family too. Interesting. Yeah, Moonrider's over there. All kinds of people. I'm being paid to slap together some solution that's going to allow people to take a few photos or something and turn it into a 3D model. It's called photogrammetry. It exists. We did it on stream a lot. The problem with photogrammetry is that it takes a lot of storage space, but there's a lot of people who've been using it in chat to create 3D models. Yeah, money is money, I guess. Yeah, you know, if you're getting paid to do it, I mean, that's fine, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of free things out there too that you can use in order to do photogrammetry, even with your phone. And it utilizes all the accelerometers and stuff in order to figure out where it's taking a photo from, and it helps kind of stitch everything together, right? But yeah, that's a solution that very much exists in nature. You could find a couple of GitHub projects probably that do that pretty well. We had a fellow who was trying to fix some of the shortfalls of the program that we found, where it takes an object and you spin it, but you have a line laser on it. And as that line distorts, it's able to get a pretty nice 3D model of the thing the line laser's following. That's a cool one, but they never finished it. So, which is the way all these damn software projects go. Somebody has this great idea and they find a bunch of shortfalls in the thing that somebody did, and they go to fix it, and then they just don't update it ever. And then we're sitting here in the lurch like, well, I guess we don't have that anymore. Can a smartphone actually do the computation? I mean, Apple phones can do a really good 3D scan because they've got the Face ID thing. There are also setups that you can buy that clip to a phone and do that kind of 3D scanning. Yeah, the new iPhones, yeah. They broke the 3D scanner at work last week, and somebody figured they wanted to 3D scan a mirror, shot the laser right into the camera lens again. That shouldn't break it. What do you mean? It's not that kind of laser. It wouldn't break it. It doesn't make any sense. All right, so anyway, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Yeah, actually, here, look, there's Artex Studio. There's literally photogrammetry programs that are still in this computer from when we tried this crap last. Some of them were Kinect scanning applications, though. That doesn't make any that doesn't make any sense, though. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Meshroom. There's all kinds of good, yeah. I've used a Blender plugin to use my smartphone as a camera in 3D space. Made some realistic render animations that way, huh? See, we tried to get renders of the Mercedes steering wheel so that we could build a centerpiece to it, so that it wouldn't, so that I could, it wouldn't be a gaping open airbag hole. But yeah, we went through the ringer in terms of the free applications that you didn't have to download or buy or get hardware for. All right, so let me get my visual example here. It's the thing that we need to measure in order to do this project today, and I can explain to you what the reason is for my doing this. This is just one of those little things that you do when you're an engineer. You look at things in your life and you go, that sucks, and it's really annoying me. So how can I improve it? LiDAR can fry certain CMOS sensors. At a concert. Well, a concert laser is a completely different animal. I'm not convinced. All right, so I tried to do this using 3M tape, so let me get all that off of here. As soon as I did this, I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and do this the proper way. I need to design something that I can 3D print in order to accomplish this. Now, this is a generic cell phone stand. I have an HTC 10. It's in great shape. It's got cracks on the screen and there's a lot of dust in it, and we've taken it apart before on screen. Actually, on stream. I actually do have another screen for this. I just haven't had the balls to install it yet. So this is my phone. There are many like it, but this is mine. This thing has a USB 3 slot on the bottom. USB-C slot on the bottom. The stands that I can find for this cell phone are not plentiful. Not plentiful, and they're not very well made, and they're not really designed that well. So I basically have two of these. One of them sits in the bedroom, and then this one sits in the car. It is basically just a little thing to hold your cell phone up. And this works great on the desk, because on the desk, and I'm going to make sure that my phone stays quiet during this whole thing. If this stays on the desk, there's not a whole lot to interfere with it here, right? The cell phone stays up, it's at a bit of an angle. It's kind of a little bit of a burden to use if it's on the stand, but that's fine. So it just sits here like this, generating heat, right? Well, the thing is, I like my metal phones, and metal phones can't do the wireless charging. The wireless charging, what's that gonna do for me? I don't know. You guys have weird stuff that you comment. So yeah, anyway, this is the cell phone stand that I have. And so what I've done is I've taken some of that Easy Pass Velcro stuff, because it works at a very high temperature. Cars get very hot, and if this is hardware that I'm leaving behind in my car, I'm gonna make sure that it is high temperature hardware. PETG, pretty high temperature. My friend has had it in his car for a long time. So I will trust PETG reluctantly in the dashboard of my car. So what I'm trying to do is cradle this phone properly in here, because I have a 5 series. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me, I'm so awesome. If I plug this thing in and I accelerate, it really wants to drop that phone. It really wants to drop the phone like this. The phone wants to come out of the holster when I'm going through high G, low drag turns. So I need to cradle this thing better, right? This thing needs to be held minimally on the sides, and it needs to be held minimally at the bottom. So what I'm basically thinking of is like a fork kind of thing that would cradle the back of the phone, because, like, look at that. Yeah, it definitely could put something there. Cradle the back of the phone and then cradle the sides of the phone. And it needs to hold it at slightly more of an angle, because there's actually a piece of the dashboard hits up against it. It would be really nice if I could do something with that piece of the dashboard to hold the top of the phone, but that's not really something that I can do. It's not really an easy thing to engineer. What I can easily engineer, though, is something that's going to hold the bottom piece of this phone. So enter Fusion 360. This is going to be a fairly simple shape kind of deal, but it just needs to hold the bottom, and then I need something that comes around to the front and just holds it in place. But also the look at all the space that there is under the phone for that USB port. So yeah, I don't want the weight of my phone to be on the USB port. That seems to be what this cradle thinks is totally acceptable. I guess it's okay, but man, if I could just get that to hold that like that, that's basically it. Wow, you have a cell phone? You should try implanting an antenna in your brain. That's what these, like, God, chat. God. All right. So let's open up Fusion, which is going to slow everything down on this computer. It's been doing that lately. Yeah, I think that's true. It was designed to account for cases. Yeah. I don't use cases on my cell phone because I don't fucking chuck my cell phone around like people do. I do put a screen protector on there because, I mean, if the phone does fall, it'll sometimes grab, like, just like a little tiny rock in a parking lot and just shatter. Yeah, this phone is from 2016, so. All right, so this would be probably just a new thing. Yeah, we'll just put it in the admin project folder because it's like weird miscellaneous stuff. I guess I'll make a new folder for it. It's not going to be that extensive of a design, so let's do a new folder for it. This will be phone cradle. Man, just when I thought I'm done, this fucking thing comes back and beeps at me, you know? Beep, boop, beep. Wow, pay attention to me. It's a test PG reminder. I specifically went into the settings and disabled those. What the fuck? Like, okay, it said test PG in an hour, right? So I went into options. What is it? My pump. Alerts and reminders. Pump reminders. After bolus BG. Turn it off. Check. Settings saved. Missed meal bolus is not the right thing. I just don't think there's an after high BG alert that I can turn off. God, that is annoying. Yeah, you can't turn it off. You get 2 alerts for being hyperglycemic. Ugh, God. Okay. So, nothing in there. New drawing. Control S. Phone holder. Yeah, good enough. All right. So yeah, what do we want out of this thing? Well, I couldn't find a model for this phone. I looked around a little bit, and I wasn't able to find the HTC 10 3D model. I did find one that was a paid model, and I'm not going to pay for a model for my fucking phone. I'm not going to do that. The other ones that I found were HTC ones, or, you know, something like that. I just couldn't find a free 3D model for this phone. Unless somebody can pull one up that doesn't require me to sign into some random 3D modeling website. We'll proceed without it. We don't need it to be a one-to-one cradle for the phone. It doesn't need to be perfect, right? This just needs to be plastic that surrounds this piece. What I'm thinking basically is that it'll just be a piece that inserts into this thing, and then I'll leave a little bit of space, maybe at the bottom, where I can put some of the VHB tape, the double-sided super duper automotive tape. Yeah, it's an HTC 10. I know somebody's going to pull up a model of it in 5 seconds, but I looked around and I wasn't able to find anything. Yeah, we got a couple little structures in here to worry about. Other than that, I mean, it's not really all that complicated. We don't necessarily even need a 3D model to do this. I could make a piece that screws in based on the piece that already screws in. Let's take a look at that and see if that's a viable option. I got 2 screw holes here, and there's clearly an inserted piece of plastic. So maybe I could just replace that whole thing. It'll be kind of a larger structure, but it would get the job done. So 2 screws. And the whole point of this today is to keep it within the amount of time that I have. I don't want this to draw out into a larger project. What the hell? It's got yep. It's got a ballast weight inside of it. to make it seem like it's more expensive than it is. It has a ballast weight. Can you believe it? All right. Well, that's simple enough. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect it to be anything more complicated than this. This would pose kind of an issue for 3D printing, though, huh? Because it's got a lot of features on it that I don't know if... I guess I could probably support those. Yeah. Yeah, we could invent our own. I think that's doable. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3D scanner, huh? Don't have a 3D scanner. We can't get an exact scan of this thing. But we do have a couple features here that we do need to translate into the real thing. I don't know where I'm going to start with this. I mean, this is meant to be kind of like a loose USB mount that can move around a little bit, so your phone doesn't snap into from their socket. And I can kind of design around that. Just do this whole structure, and then I guess narrow it down. So what do you guys think? What should we try to do? We can recreate this piece and alter it, or I can just use the dimensions of this piece in order to create a solid that I will then modify in order to hug the phone better. So this will come up a little taller, although I don't want to block the home button because that's the only way to wake it up. Which this avoids it. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to figure out here. All right. You found a stand for the HTC. Well, don't link it because we're not doing that. I knew that I fucking in my mind's eye, I saw this happening as somebody would find a model for, oh, here's the cell phone stand that you were trying to make. That's not the point of today. You know? So, why would okay, all right. So let's start with some dimensions here. I mean, we have to basically make a solid that looks similar to the cell phone stand that I've got, and then I suppose we could alter it from there. Yeah, all the models you found cost money. Yep, that's what I found too. That's what I found too. Because yeah, if we recreate this, it's got to have slightly higher walls to hit the edges of the phone, so the phone doesn't rock back and forth on that USB slot. And then let's see. I have to build out a structure to hold that. So is our base plate gonna be where the phone sits? And if that's true, then we just have a couple features there to match. That angle is gonna be kind of annoying. That right there, the little angle of this thing. Yeah, I mean, if I got one of those mounts that hugs the phone from the sides, that could work. But then all those usually hit the buttons on the phone. So I'm just trying to give it like a little bolstering in order to hold it while I drive. You know what? I think we might I don't think we should redesign this part. This part's going to be a nightmare to 3D print just because of some of the way some of the features are laid out. And like that angle right there, I don't like that. Which like that angle basically means that I can't print it up from the bed like this, which means it'll be a little bit more sloppy. So I'm thinking maybe we just take this piece. Let's model this L shape so that we know what we're building, and we'll have to figure out getting this piece in there as maybe a cutout to that sort of like, sorry, U channel. Let's take that U channel and let's model that. Let's figure that one out, because I think that's going to benefit us most. Oh, I don't have my calipers near me. Hold on. Let me get my calipers. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd I put down? Oh, they're there. They actually were very close to me. I didn't even need to get up. Yeah, you know, for the seriousness of cell phone mounting, in terms of all the things that people do with their cell phones, you would think there would be more. Yeah, I guess a J channel, fine, whatever, fuck you. But, like, I guess smartwatches are a way to go. But I don't know, I just want something I can plop the phone down into in the car and not have to worry about it. But also I want to be able to get it out of that easily. That's going to be kind of an issue. I guess, if it hugs the front of the phone, having it taped onto this thing strongly is going to be very important. Yeah, let's make that J channel. It is a J channel. It's a backwards J channel. They can't even make a proper J. What is wrong with them? Let's see. Do we start and extrude out laterally or vertically? I mean, it doesn't matter how much material we give it down here, because remember, we're designing off of this piece. So if I go, let's go like it was 3D printed. So we'll have a square, like a rectangle, with some lines in it, and then we'll extrude up from there. My phone flew out once. It was glorious and it survived. While biking? Oh my god. That sounds horrible. See, what would happen with me is the phone would tilt forward and get in the way of my shifting. And I just don't want to have that happen. I don't want to have to deal with that. So our base shape is going to be 73.92. We're going to call that 74. 74 by 20. Should we count that as 20 and a half? Or 21? 21? Really? 21? Really? Really? Really 21? Really? 21? Fucking A, it's 21. All right. 75. No. 74 by 21? Dude, this is weird dimensions. All right, 74 by 21. So we're going to start a sketch. I'm going to put that on the base plate of that axis, the Z-axis, I guess. And then create rectangle from center at origin. And that's going to be 70, I forgot the numbers, 74 by 21. And that's the start of it all. So 74 by 21. Now there's still stuff going on here. We've got various features. We got the cheekbones right here, right? And then we have the two pieces that extrude vertically. So the two pieces that extrude vertically are on the top and the bottom of this thing. So I guess I could just mark them out. One of them is going to be 3.5. There's no light on the calipers right now. 4? No, that's not 4. I twisted it. I mean, I can count that as 4. 4 and 3. We'll have to make sure that it makes 14 point, I guess 14 in the center. So 4 and 3. We might have to get into the 0.5s on this. Yeah, I think I'm willing to call that 13.5. Sorry, 3.5 and then 3. So yeah, bottom and top, 3.5 and 3. Let's zoom in a little bit there. All right, so I'll do point to point, and we'll call that, oh look, that's 3.5. Well, we'll call that, tab over to that one, hit 3, and then the other one I'm gonna lock to that dimension there. And then on the top, lock into that dimension there, so I hit tab and I go 3.5. All right, so that's the beginnings of it. Now we need that little cutout. We need that little cutout with a chamfer on it. Now the chamfers I do afterwards. The chamfers I do after the sketch in order to just round out the shape. So we start with our basic shape layout with none of the weird chamfers. Because when you do that, when you chamfer the edge, your point-to-point measurement, like this 74, if I were to chamfer this and this, the 74 breaks. And so we have a constraint or a dimension that doesn't work anymore because this line, this construction line that's created from the center sphere, or center rectangle, doesn't have anywhere to go. So we don't do chamfers until we get to the 3D model. And that way we can have our basic shape layout of everything, right? So that's fine and well and dandy. The next thing we need to do, though, is get that sort of inner jawbone area. 65.99. I'm willing to call that 66. Yeah, isn't that weird? I hate how it doesn't do that. FreeCAD fixed the problem. It wouldn't be hard for this CAD to fix it either. I guess it's okay though. It's not like I'm basing a whole lot on those chamfers, right? But it would be nice to not have, you know, a chamfer break your drawing. You draw a rectangle and they're like, here's this tool to round out the edges of a rectangle. And you're like, cool, let me use it. That's great. And then they're like, no, you broke the drawing. It's like, why would you do this? Why would you do this to us? It's so stupid. But I mean, look, the layout and design tools of Fusion are really good. I mean, AutoCAD knows what they're doing with making two-dimensional, you know, measurement drawings. It's not their planned workflow. That's exactly it. It's not their planned workflow. And so what I do is when they want you to do all of the fillets. Sorry, chamfer's the straight edge. Schmide is being Schmide, and he's being a little dick. But yeah, it's a fillet, isn't it? Well, that tool doesn't have a name. What is this thing called? Give me a mouse over. Damn it. Yeah. Wait, which one is fillet and which one is chamfer? Yeah, the round one's the fillet. The chamfer is the straight line. I get them mixed up. Let's just deal with it. Just deal with it. Why is that one... Why is that unconstrained? You son of a bitch! It didn't lock it in. So we need to lock this in. Hello? 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 What the fuck? It's like bound by weird things. Why is it like this? Why are you like this? There. Jeez. You see one little construction, you see one little unconstrained line, and you gotta look around for that. I literally just said 4 times that I do know which one's which now. All right. So yeah, we need to limit. We need another rectangle in here with a particular height and width. So the width is obviously going to be all the way. Well, actually, no, it's not going to be all the way to the edges. And it looks like it starts at the halfway point. So I need to measure that in spite of the way that this thing is constructed. Like this, move this out of the way. Yeah, so I need to figure out, I guess I could do a rectangle from the top, but I mean, this is coming in from the bottom here from center line. So from center line, I would typically do a center rectangle. So if I define a center rectangle to come up through, I mean, this is going to get busy fast. And most of the way that I want to do this is just so that I don't have to do any specific calculations, right? I don't want to have to do any numbers, so I'm measuring it as center. So that's pretty much bang on order 66 right there. So 66. All right, easy enough. Oops, that is the wrong view. Oof. Okay. Probably should get rid of that view. I don't really ever use it. Rectangle, center, from the center. They don't allow, I don't have a tool that does a center rectangle and then has me extrude it upwards. That would be kind of useful, but that's going to be 66, and then I'm going to lock it down to this line right here. And so now I've got one piece of the puzzle, and the next piece of the puzzle is going to be the height of that. So where am I measuring that? I guess, because again, I've got a chamfer here, so I got to go into the chamfer in order to measure it. Actually, I could do this. Haha. I am the greatest. I know exactly what I'm doing. There's a very small spot on those two curves, because basically what it does is it does a sweeping curve down, and then there's a chamfer on the next edge. So between that edge and the sweep up, there's just a little spot there where it's the appropriate distance. And it looks like we're either dealing with 11 or 10.5. Let's do 11 and see how that turns out. So I guess what I can do is off of this edge, I can take it over to this edge, and then I can make the height 11. Make sure that locks up to there. So yeah, it got a little busy. The drawing got, oh wait, no, I did it wrong. Did it wrong. Everything's wrong. Take it from all the way out here and take it up to 11. You son of a bitch. Escape. All right, tab 11. There you go. No? Did I? What? Oh, then go over. What happened? Oh, it does. Oh, it locked both of the dimensions down. Get out of the tool. Get out of the tool. Create rectangle. Let's just do this thing again. There. All right, back to here. 74, 11, and then lock that in. Okay, so this looks like Crazy Town, right? Everything's crazy. You know, people have come into chat and they said, "Oh, bother, how do you make the? How'd you start with this model for the RC car and get it up to the level of complexity that it's at right now?" They said they didn't exactly ask that. It was something very similar, but like this is how you start out looking at your object and breaking it down into geometrical shapes. And you start measuring stuff. And if you start measuring stuff, you can generally assume whoever's designing it is working in metric. It does largely depend on what you're trying to work on. If you're working on like lawnmower parts, they might be designed in English. But generally, the stuff that we're reverse engineering here, like if we're looking at a plastic product, it was made somewhere overseas, and so those overseas areas typically are metric. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring this thing in metric on the cardinal geometrical, you know, shapes that make it up, and I'm figuring out what round, normal, even numbers they're using for everything. And you kind of get a feel for tweaking them and finding them just in the right spots, and figuring out exactly what the offsets of your calipers are versus in the real world, and what the manufacturing tolerances might be, so that you can get to that fundamental base geometrical shape that makes up the object. So, okay, so now that we've done all that, we can build up our solid, because this is how AutoCAD works. So I'm going to finish the sketch. There's our sketch. My God, it's beautiful. It's awful. It is poise. It is elegance. What we want to do is just extrude this stuff up. So this is where even more measurement comes into play. Now, because we are making a form that we are going to follow in order to create the thing that we're actually going to print, some of the dimensions don't matter. So we'll make a decision. Sounds like I have dentures. We're going to make a decision on what that depth is, right? We're going to give it that little bit of depth, and then we're going to work from there. So I'm going to do 2 millimeters for the base plate. 2 millimeters for the base plate. That's not what's here, but that'll give us enough of a base that we can work off of. So I'm going to extrude, hit the letter E, which is just that tool right there. It's just the extrude tool. And then we're going to choose all of the different pieces that we're going to extrude 2 millimeters. Now the front and the back, that's where it was at. I don't necessarily need to do that 2 millimeters, but I'll do it just to make a base plate. So we'll take all that stuff, and you can see it puts your cursor right here. I hit the number 2, and then it extrudes 2 millimeters. I click OK. It gets rid of my sketch, but I'm not done with the sketch yet. I can set the setting for that not to happen. I just don't really care. Okay, so now we need the height of these 2 outcroppings. So if I hit extrude and I select this and this, actually they're not going to be the same height, so I'll just do the front one first. Front one first, I'm going to start it at the object. I can start it at an offset. If I feel like altering the amount of stuff that's below this, I will have it, like generally I'm choosing from object to object, because if I alter those objects, the instructions for the CAD software to recreate the solid are still there. So object, and then I choose the top face of this thing, and now we need to measure stuff. So I get the calipers, I go to the top piece here, and I get blank screen because I'm just that good. You guys should know that calipers are always on. Leaving the screen on, and I've gotten shit about this before from chat, because they have nothing else to do. Chat gives me shit about literally everything, and I try to steer them in the right direction. But you should know that a caliper is two different pieces of equipment here, mostly electrical. But the things that are running here, the spacing between the little prongs of the caliper thing, those are given kind of like relative to stuff. So if you turn off the caliper, it actually is still running. The LCD is just off. It's still going to be using the same amount of energy. It's I don't know. It's something that AVE did extensive testing on, and maybe I need to refresh myself on those. But like the amount of extra current that it takes to run just the LCD is like completely and utterly infinitesimal compared to just the normal off current on a caliper. You know, there's one way for me to check to see whether I'm right about that. That could have all been misinformation. Hold on. If I take out the battery, am I going to get 84.7 again? Okay, so maybe they do actually turn off. Yeah, I could be completely wrong about that. I got to rewatch the AVE video. I guess it can passively read those marks. I don't think it's committing anything to memory. So I'm wrong about that. Never mind. We can just delete that section of all of our collective memories. All right, anyway, measuring from the top of the object up. I'm totally wrong about that. Top of our new object up to this is 6.14. We're going to call that 6 millimeter. Boop. Where was the cursor? I just typed a 6 somewhere. There's a 6 somewhere in the universe that we don't know. We don't know what happened to it. Yeah, so no offset, distance is 6. Boop. 6 millimeter. All right, so far so good. Starting to look a little bit like our object. Next piece. This, and oh, nope. It selected weird stuff. What I'm doing, by the way, because this drawing is on the base axis, I can't get to it by clicking through objects. So I've been just moving the camera over so that I can click it through stuff. Boop, boop, and boop. Same deal. From object. From the top piece here, and then our distances, and I need to if I take the battery out of mine, it loses its position. So maybe that type of caliper does it a different way. This one didn't lose the position though. Unless it's got like some capacitors in it. Maybe I would need to undo it for like an extended period of time. Because the Mitutoyos didn't lose their position. 26.59. We're going to call that 27. I think that's safe to call 27 because there might be a little bit of an angle to my measurement. There's big fillets on the bottom of these things, so 26.68. Yeah, let's call that 27 millimeter. So 27. Okay, so that's that. Let's not view the sketch anymore because we don't need it. So those are all of the features of this object. And actually, you know what? We should probably make that 4 millimeters just to represent the bottom of the base. So, okay, so here's exactly why I do from object on all of my extrusions. Because I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, man, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. I would rather have that base plate be thicker. It needs more thickness. Think, Mark, think. I'm thick. All right, so if I make that 4 millimeters, because I did it from object, these dimensions are still going to be the same. So, hey, that's pretty cool. Here's an off-brand 25-pound caliper. I need to buy another set of Mitutoyos. Of all the spending that I've done recently, I really should have bought another set of Mitus, but I didn't. I should, though, because these are starting to show a little bit of their age. They fundamentally have a problem with them in that the little hooks, the inside diameter measures are they're a little bit damaged. One got bent in, and I had to kind of like file it away because it got destroyed that way. Off-brand calipers can be pretty good. First off, are we in orthographic view? No, we're not. Good. I have like a weird thing with orthographic view. Everything looks like it's in orthographic if you've been using it too much. Like, that's ortho view, and everything seems like weird and broken. So I've got a weird thing where if I'm looking at a 3D model, my brain sometimes can't tell whether or not we're in ortho view. It's a form of PTSD. Anyway, appearance. This is the most fun part of Fusion. What I'm doing right there, by the way, the radio button thing. Sometimes when you go to edit the appearance, you've highlighted like a face on the object, and so you drag your appearance over and it doesn't actually affect it. It only does that one face. Whereas here you have it apply to bodies and components, and that's not what it does. It doesn't do the body and component. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting faces and then I go back to bodies and components. Just a little bit, just kind of like jogs it into, it basically tells the software that I'm not trying to edit that one specific face. It's just I wanted to open up the appearance menu in a quick way. I don't know how to get to it otherwise. I should probably just use whatever that search function is and type in appearance. But anyway, plastic. So we've got like a rubber covered plastic. I guess matte black is probably what the actual color is. Maybe we should make it matte gray just so we can see what we're doing, because the matte black color will make it hard to see what we're actually working on. So we'll just keep it gray as our outline object, right? And I could always make it a fancy color, but whatever. This will look good enough, and it won't have any like reflections or anything on it. Okay, so what does this thing look like? Well, okay, we've got filleted edges all over this thing. This thing is soft as fuck. It's got all these filleted edges all over it. So we just basically need to recreate all those edges, and then the one complicated one is this. I don't know how we're gonna make that. We'll have to figure that out in a minute. But first, I mean, basically just everything gets a fillet. We don't need to do this one because that's part of the geometry that we're ignoring. We're basically taking this thing like that. So we need here, definitely there, believe it or not. The front and back, not the back edge, not the front edge. Oh yeah, those are actually straight up and down. But these two in here are also filleted. And the closer we get these to the real thing, the better we can make our 3D printed part. I mean, also, this could just serve as the base. Like, if the 3D printed part doesn't really work out for me, like if it still doesn't attach properly and everything's kind of wrong, I can, what do you call it? I could always remake this part and use what we're designing right now as a basis for that. But let's get some of these fillets on. Take that there, click here, click y'all. Now, I don't have any good tools for measuring what that diameter is going to be. The diameter of the circle that makes up that thing. If I do a 90-degree measurement, that's not going to give me the full thing, is it? I mean, it seems more like, yeah, I don't really know how to get a good measurement out of that. Does anybody have a good way to measure a fillet? Because yeah, I'm not getting the right numbers. Yeah, that's what I've been stressing during this whole process, is that it is probably a nice round number. What round number it is, I don't know. Pun not intended. But I mean, 6 millimeters looks right. That's generally how I've been doing them. We can always go back to these steps and alter these too. So that one, and then this one, I got the wrong, that's not the edge that I wanted. There. Usually those are 3. Does 3 look right? Looks kind of right, right? Looks kind of right. That looks to be about 3. Probably those inside ones are like 2. We'll take a look. Like the RC car project, I just eyeballed all of the fillets and they all came out all right. None of them are too complicated anyway. Let's do these two. Guessing 2 millimeter. Oops, I hit the wrong one. I gotta cancel it. Dude. Two. You think that's a little too aggressive? Looks about right, actually. How far up does that go? Not that far. It's close. I don't know. I think I'll count it. Maybe 2 millimeters looks about right. And then finally this weirdo over here, which is going to be 2 chamfers, 2 separate chamfers. Sorry, fillets. So to take it out to there, it's 4, which is perfect. Yeah, 4. It's a round number. Take that to 4, and then we take these, and those have a little 1 too. And I'll be able to know when my measurements are off when I actually print the thing and it actually doesn't quite line up. But that looks to be about what we have. It's got those cheekbones, huh? Yeah, I think that looks about right. That's about right. So the hole in the bottom of this thing, I don't know if we need exactly that. I could design the USB plug, or I could just stay away from that entirely. There should be enough room on both sides. Yeah, there's plenty of room on both sides for this thing to hold the phone if we just stay out of that center hoop. So that thing would be a slot, and the slot width is going to be 8. That's 7.84. So diameter of 8. So end to end, this thing is 27. Really? 19? 19 to the ends, and then 4 and 4 will make it into 20. Let me check this again. Yeah, make it into 27. It's really 27. 27 and 8. Wonderful numbers to be putting together, guys. Whoever designed this thing. All right, back to the original sketch. Now, here's the thing about the timeline in AutoCAD. I'm going to forget those numbers and have to measure it again. But here's the thing about timelines and AutoCAD. So we did all that work in order to create the solid. If I go and double-click this sketch right here, we will not be editing this sketch right here. We will be editing this sketch as it exists at the beginning of the drawing. So whenever I told it to make that sketch, it expects me to get every single facet of that sketch down in one go. That's the time when I make the entire functional sketch all at once. So if I go back to the sketch, the bodies that are derived from the geometries in this sketch, if I change those geometries to a point where they break the body, it will throw an error when I leave the sketch. So you got to know that we are all the way back here on the timeline. So anyway, that trough is coming from the center. So I'm going to make a slot, and I'm going to make a center point slot. Oh boy. I hate it when it does this. I don't know why it's doing this today, where it like doesn't let you click on something that you were trying to click on. So center point slot, is that the correct? Did I use the right one? I think so, but it's not asking me for my overall width. It's asking me for the half width. So 27 over 2. I was never good at math. I rely on computers to do all my math for me. 13.5. What a great number. What a nice, even round number. 13.5. That is not, that's the angle. Oh my God, it's all messed up. Create. Create a slot. Create a center point slot. Take it out this way, 13.5. Match that up to, no, not that line. I want you on the center line at 0 degrees. And then I want you to be 8 millimeter in diameter. Now that doesn't mess up any of the geometries. It may introduce a couple new open areas to everything, which could potentially screw up the solid later down the line. But right now, this shouldn't mess anything up because I'm not moving any of the original geometry. So I'm just adding a a trough to everything. So I'm going to finish that sketch. And see, it didn't affect anything. Sometimes it does, and it makes everything weird. If I hit extrude, I can select the two solid areas, and then I can just go like that and click OK. So there is our part. That looks a little too wide. That looks too wide. Is that really what this thing looks like? It actually does look kind of accurate. I think that's right. I don't know. I can always use the inspect tool, but then it's not gonna take it from the maximum, is it? Yeah, it's gonna say 27, but it's 27 plus 4 plus 4 because of the radii. Wait a minute. That's not right. That is incorrect. Yeah, we need 27 minus 8. Dun dun dun. Well, since the sketch exists at the very beginning of time, I can go back into the sketch, and it's not 13.5, it's 9.5, which is another nice, wonderful, even number. Not 90, 9. There we go. So now if I measure from here to here, we get 19, and 19 plus 2, 4 radii is 27. 20, 21, 22, 23. It's 20, wait a minute, 23. Hold on, what did I mess up? What did I screw up? What did I screw up? 26.9, so that's 27 from end to end. 19, 21, 22, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's right. Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. I'll tell you guys, doing math on stream is like it's a nightmare. It's like wake up in a cold sweat kind of nightmare doing math on stream. Now, if I really wanted to make this look like the object that we have sitting in front of us, I could do all of the other features of this thing. It does look like this was designed this way. It looks like it was probably at least partially designed that way, where you extrude the plastic material up, and like I could take an offset of this and extrude it out, or I could use like I don't know. There may be some tools that would allow me to hollow that out. I don't know. It's interesting sometimes when you can put together the ways something was made when you're just reverse engineering it from the outside in. Oof, man, numbers are down throughout Twitch. Everybody decided to get a life, huh? Man, people are like going outside and shit instead of watching Twitch. Okay, so good. Got some good stuff going on here. So this is we're ready now to actually start making the cell phone holder. After all that, I don't have a model of the cell phone. Still no life here. Yeah, I know, right? I still don't have a model of the cell phone, but I'm not sure if I need it. Not sure if I really need the model of the cell phone. So I'm going to save this. And technically, I mean, if I were... I should probably use this as a component in another drawing, right? But we'll try to keep it, we'll limit it to this drawing here, because this is just a small project, and I don't need it to be like a comprehensive assembly of a bunch of different parts, right? So I can just take this and I can put that into a group, and I can name the group if I really feel like it. Rename it to base plate. So yeah, there's that. So how are we going to attach the solid that we make? Now, I want it to be able to be stable, rocking forwards and side to side. So a good way to mount it would be to put like tape on the back. The Perfect Fit subreddit. Yo, Hadrix, thank you for following. Yeah, Perfect Fit is just lazy engineers going with whole numbers. It's true. It's true. Okay, so what can I do here? I think I need a stand-in for the cell phone. I think I need something that's going to represent at least the bottom part of my cell phone. That's going to get a little bit more complicated, because when we decide what goes in there in order to hold up the phone, I should probably have something that resembles the cell phone, huh? So let's rename this sketch. I can just click on it. And I'll just call this base. And then we're going to make a new sketch, and it's going to be on the same axes. How do I want to do that? Let me think about that carefully. Hold on. So there's a bunch of different geometries of the phone, and if I take the top picture of it as a rectangle, then I can do like extrusions and stuff. Or not, I can extrude it as a rectangle. We could treat it as a rectangle, or I could extrude it as a rectangle, and then we can do all the fillets and stuff that'll make up the outside of the bottom part of the phone. And then I think that'll be a good stand-in. So yeah, let's do the phone stand-in thing. So I'll do a new sketch, and I'll do it on the same axis as the other sketch. And then I'm gonna unview the body. Not all the bodies, just that one. And, well, that is all the bodies. Anyway, unview the body so that I can work. I have a little room to work. And what we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna take the bottom piece of this phone and try to recreate it. This is a weird-ass bottom, which is a complaint that I get all the time. I mean, it really does look like it's just like two different fillets. It's like a chamfer and a fillet. Start from there, and then they've got that going up by a little bit, and then back down. Okay. Boy, oh boy, this is not going to be easy. We'll get it close, but I don't know if I should base any of the geometries that I work with off of this. I think it would be okay for this to not fit exactly precisely where it needs. Okay. So this thing is. Well, the problem is this whole thing bows outwards just a little bit. So if I do a rectangle, I'm gonna have to like curve it, which would make it an arc. But it's not quite like that. And there's two fillets on this thing. And I guess it's an uneven fillet, which is how they gave it that right there. So if I do it first as a rectangle, and I arc that line, I can measure it out here, for it's like for what it meets. But it seems to like taper around the corner. Here, take a look. So, in spite of the bend, or in spite of the fall damage that you see the phone having taken, you can see like that gets more narrow as we run around this corner until we get to here. So how do I make that? How do I make that, and then how do I chamfer it? See, the fillet here is an uneven fillet, and it goes all the way around the edge. So as long as I have a line that comes around here, I can fillet it just fine. But that line also does a little bulge out here too. So if I get the flat projection of that, I guess I could do that. But how do I represent the edges and then have it actually expand out? Yeah, I guess maybe a loft. Yeah, it's like it'd be a complicated loft line though to try to, because I'm thinking like, okay, so the main edge of the phone is just it's just a rectangle with a chamfer, right? And then they do something with this whole surface in order to round it, and then fillet that, but also somehow get that to expand out there. Man, it's probably not terribly complicated for some people to figure out, but I'm pretty stumped. It's like, how do you get that to do that on the edge? Tricksy, tricksy, tricksy phone designers. I think if you get the order of operations correct, you can do that. Because, like, all right, if I wanted to get an approximation of this thing, let's just do some stuff and just figure out what I can do here. So if I take this, I mean, it looks like what they did is they may have gone from one end to the other in like a different way. I'm trying to do it from the bottom up. What's up, Star Vandal? Think. Because yeah, if I try to model the whole phone, that's going to be kind of annoying, right? Just quit your job. What are you looking at now? Just gonna take it easy until the money runs out. Congrats on putting your foot down, I guess, right? I don't know what the circumstances were of you quitting, so. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make the shape. The shape is just a little complicated. Maybe we need to model like the whole phone, and that'll give me that edge. Not quite. I'm looking aggressively. All right, man. Good luck in that job hunt. Those are rough. Yeah, let me cancel this sketch. This is not on the axis that I need it to be. Even though I could just move it into place. Instead, I guess I'll make a sketch on. Well, I guess I could try to model the phone in a different file. That's really what AutoCAD wants you to do, but I want to do this kind of in the method that somebody who has the free version might do. So we'll not view the body. We now have this sketch here. Had to run out of their shady stuff in a snooze fest most of the time. Hey, a lot of jobs are like that, right? Refurb service. Huh. It sounds kind of fun. 146.18. We're going to call that 146. And the other dimension is 72, almost exactly. 72. So 146 by 72. Create rectangle, center, 14672. That doesn't seem right. Something happened. Why is that not... Okay, all right. I see what's going on. I'm some kind of joke to you, AutoCAD. That's what's going on. Create rectangle, center, like that. 146 tab 72. Enter. Okay, there we go. I don't know, man. Oh, whoa. Let's not go down that road, please. 1X unavailable X1. Thank you for the follow. A very inspired screen name. All right. So we've done it. We've made a rectangle. Finally, we have achieved rectangle. My God, it's beautiful. This is a very difficult geometrical shape. This is actually the peak of CAD. It can barely render this. It's so powerful. Finish the sketch, and then we're going to extrude that. What are you doing? Fucking read the title, maybe? I don't know. Okay, all right. I'm gonna rein in. I'm not gonna be a dick to my own audience. All right, measure the width of the phone. 9.7. 9.7. I mean, everything's pretty approximate today, but 0.2. I don't think we've had to fudge a 0.2 before. 9.7, and I do have a cell phone protector on there, but it's going to be like 0.1. 9.76 is kind of an odd number. It really wants 9.7. That seems to be what I'm getting out of this thing. Whereas all of the other geometries of the phone, all the other dimensions of the phone are like even numbers. I'm getting 9.7 on this one. Why do you work in like the worst part of the tech sector, Star Vandal? Why don't you... Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're more careful about ethical things nowadays. Man. Sounds like a nice little wake-up call. I'm getting 8.68 there. I don't think the phone bulges in the one axis. I don't think it does both. It might actually. It might actually be more narrow here than it is. Huh, 8.6 to 9.6. Does it really? Did I put a scratch on it? No, I didn't. It doesn't really seem to, but it does. There's like maybe a little evidence of it kind of tapering downwards over here. Okay, man. All right. Yeah, it does taper down. It tapers down right out here. Ah, my God, all these subtle geometries that this thing has in order to make it a phone. It's like they took a mesh and they just like inflated it a little bit in order to make this shape. Because it tapers down just subtly over here and over here. It's like the B in subtle. So what do I take that as? Do I take that as 9.7? That's an odd number, but maybe we can work with it. We're just testing to see if we can get that shape of the phone. This is why I didn't want to reverse engineer the phone as part of this. Because it has some weirdness to it. Here's our phone. Beautiful. So, what's just moving? I heard movement sounds. Does it mean Window Cat's back? No window cat. There's a cat. There's an orange tabby that actually, I don't know if it's a tabby. I need to see whether there's an M. Did you know that tabby cats actually have M? They have an M shape in the patterning over their head. Yeah, this is phone. This is ideal phone. This is peak phone. You can't even contest this. There it is. Do you think 2001: A Space Odyssey was a commentary about phone usage and the youth? 30 years before they became a thing. Visionary Haze, thank you for the follow. Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna toss a bone in the air and it'll become a spaceship. All right. So I need to very subtly kind of push in the sides on this thing, right? How do I do that? I mean, you know, exactly what I thought of, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna become a stonemason. Let me see. I think my not biological grandfather, one of my grandfathers was a Freemason. He was also an engineer. Bob. No, replace, split, move, copy, align, delete. Mostly, I mean, it would be like in the mesh tools, right? Maybe surface tools? Offset? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that's not right. Cancel. Basically, what I'm trying to do is very, very subtly just kind of push in the sides a little bit, right? I don't know how exactly I can do that. I don't know the software well enough. That's the problem. This is getting into stuff that I didn't expect to do today. Not like we're gonna loft or anything like that. Ooh, thicken. Boundary fill. Nah, none of those are gonna be it. It's really gonna be mesh tools, right? Yeah, I don't really know how to use these. Direct edit, remesh, reduce, plane cut, combine, smooth, reverse normal, separate. I mean, the other idea would be maybe I could do a very subtle chamfer on it, but then I lose that edge. What this set of skills could transfer into concrete masonry. I can work for Elon Musk on Mars, 3D printing housing. Yeah, I don't see any of these being directly. I mean, look, the geometry is there, right? I don't know what the tool is that I need in order to create it, because we've got this arc across here. Now I could just take that arc and just cut it out of the whole thing. Just it would be too mechanical though. That's the problem that I'm thinking of. But I need that arc because that arc is also here. It's down here on this piece. So these are some complicated things for me to try to resolve. It does seem like it's some kind of advanced tool from another piece of CAD software. At the same time, they probably had a team of people designing the outer edge of the cell phone, and I'm sitting here trying to do it like as a shade tree mechanic, you know? Don't ever bring up concrete and you're a civil engineer. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice, to be fair. So I don't know how I can make that subtle, the subtle bulge of the cell phone. Yeah, how do I make the body into a T-spline? I haven't looked at this yet. Body 1 is base. I can't rename it? Oh, because I'm in a tool right now. Hold on. Body 2 is phone. And then if I right-click... No, not right-click. All right. How do I turn you into a T-spline? Component, selection set, material appearance, properties, mesh. Remove? No. Let's see. It's got to be here. Derive, create base feature, boundary fill, modify, change parameters, no, material, no, assemble, no, construct, no. Ah, I forget where the tools are. Do I need to look them up? Probably do. Oh, create form, right? Is that how you do it? Yes, that is it. All right, create form has some other stuff to it. I don't think it's going to create it on that geometry, though, right? So I'd have to make a new one. What's that tool? Oh, face. Pipe quad ball. Sounds like a weird sport. Insert edge. Oh my God, there's so many. Okay, so this is a whole set of tools that I did not expect to. This is a whole set of tools that I need time with in order to learn. So we're jumping into the deep end here. If I really want to make this feature look at all like my phone, I'm gonna have to learn all kinds of new weird stuff on how to mess with T-splines. And this is stuff that I wanted to learn anyway because I'm gonna need it in order to work with RC car bodies purely for fun. But there are a lot of very interesting tools here. Holy crap. How do I did this? The Mario twins. Point, merge, edge, fill hole, erase and fill, weld vertices, no. Crease and uncrease, no. Bevel edge, that was already something that we have. Smooth, perhaps. Pull, looks like there's a little bump there and they're pulling it. Flatten, straighten, match, interpolate. Some symmetrical things. Those are the modified tools. I mean, if I make a box, that's just going to create a 3D shape, right? Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So I could basically... Oh, it does match it to the edge, too. Ah! Is this how they did it, HTC? Is this how you did this? It looks like a cell phone, right? Oh, my God. Oh, dear Lord. Dear God! Things are getting complicated. It actually is almost like kind of resembling a Huh. What is the... Oh, yeah, here we go. It's like 9 point something, right? Hold on. Now, if I could make that shape only on one facet of this whole thing. 9.8. Am I willing to call that 10 millimeter? I guess we'll call it 10 for now. I think surface and spline tools are used for a lot of these cosmetic features. All I wanted to do is smooth the back of the phone. I mean, it seems to be taking a lot of liberties over here, and I think I can get around those liberties by just like editing this stuff a little bit. But like that edge is not like this. This looks like a different phone. It looks like an older smartphone now. So I don't really know how to push those features away. If I just click OK on it, I can probably edit it from here. But like all I wanted to do is turn this back face into one of those. Yeah, something from Star Trek. But the things on Star Trek, they would just take plywood and put it on a belt sander. So I guess that explains that that shape. But like, dear God. Ah! If I was actually able to control what I was doing here. Yeah, this is so yeah, in my software you can do this. Well, I don't even know what I can do in this software. That's the thing, is like I don't know what I'm doing. I think maybe we just make a close approximation to what the cell phone looks like. I just put a couple chamfers on the back edge of this thing, and maybe it's just a little bit different than the real thing. Because I don't know the first thing about all the modification tools that I have available to me here. I mean, yeah, you're able to make some cool stuff using this. I don't know what I'm doing, but look at that. There we go. It's perfect. It's the perfect phone. It's got it looks like a piece of medical equipment. Like, I don't even know how to do what did I just do? Oh dear God. Oh dear God. So okay, I'm just gonna Control Z. Let's get the hell out of T splines. I need to learn how to work with T splines a little bit more, like a little bit more, because I'm not comfortable with it, and doing it on stream, it's like pulling teeth. Just because I need to try stuff, I need to break stuff, I need to come back to stuff, just to figure out how everything works and goes together, right? So it's not really gonna work out if I try doing that right now. What I need to do right now is let's just put at 10 millimeters maximum. That's fine. This thing can fit in there a little weird as long as we get that front edge, as long as we capture that front edge. Let's really modify insert edge. Yeah, I don't know. Learning about it on stream is just not going to work out for me. So let me just try doing this. So we're just going to give the chamfer to these the fillet to these four edges. Oh, I'm so sorry, chat, that I called it the wrong word. If anybody wants to speak up about that. All right, so let me just take this thing in to an even number. Probably 5, maybe 6. Everything else is 6. I don't really know how to, like, specifically measure that stuff. Hey, Justinxx2001 just subbed. Let's put them up on the board. Thank you for subbing, my friend. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need like a T-spline tutorial. I think I had one that I was gonna look up and do. Just follow it end to end, so I knew how to work with those a little better. But I'm totally uncomfortable working with them right now, so they're not gonna. It's not gonna be a fun thing. But I think what I can do is just put in the put in something that approximates the shape of the phone. It doesn't really need to be this complicated, right? Oh, you're already up there. It's every single time you sub, you end up on the board. That's how it works around here. Was that thunder I just heard? Or was somebody moving? No, somebody's moving furniture. Of course they're moving furniture while I'm streaming, because there's no, it's just the fucking Wild West out here. They just do whatever the hell they want, regardless of whether or not it would interrupt. All right, board returns back to the, yeah, that's back. All right. Yeah, but I don't want to use a cheap case, because I've already got this thing that mounts in the onto the car. So oh my god, somebody's fiddling around outside, which really is really distracting. All right, so what is that? What is that bend? I think that's greater than. See, I don't have a good way to measure these. It would be nice if there was a good way to measure those. I think maybe you can, like, aren't there ways to, like, you put like a measurement thing on it and you take it out and you say, oh, it's this diameter. I don't know how to do that. I just pretty much eyeball all of these things. Try to get them right. Yeah, I don't really know how to measure. Ah, something just flew by. The horse is brown. The horse certainly is brown. Thank you for following. Oh, and also TJ Gray followed as well. Sorry I missed that one. All right, so I guess thermals are on just because they're fun. 6, does 6 look about right? I think 6 does look about right. We'll leave it at 6 and just see what happens. All right, so from there, the next piece of the whole thing that I saw was that they did a fillet, sorry, a chamfer, calling it the wrong thing, did a chamfer, but it wasn't an equal distance. And we could do distance and angle, we could do equal distant, we could do whatever, but one of them goes down a little bit like that, and then the other one goes further in. So it's pretty much like it's kind of like that. Yeah, a little less. But then the one thing that I can't do is the taper, the what is it, that subtle the subtle edge there. So this is probably not going to be good. Oh well. What? Distance between the edges of the straight bits should give the hypotenuse of the triangle that passes through the corner. Oh my god, my brain. I don't know. Yeah, that's not that's a tough measurement for me to. I'd have to do all that geometry, right? I mean, this is what I see in the edge of the phone. It's just not quite like that because it's thinner here than it is here because it's sort of like following that geometry. Man, this is not going to be. This isn't going to resemble the phone at all. That's the problem. That's just straight up not the phone. Well, excuse me, I should have muted that. Okay, that doesn't really work. I'm gonna cough again. Damn. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, if this were like the Google phone, I could those have just like one chamfer around or one fillet around the entire thing. This isn't quite right. I think that's too far, right? Actually, it's not. Actually, it's not. The only thing it doesn't do is curve around because I wasn't able to make that geometry. Yeah, it's like that's the filleted edge, and then there's the rounded edge for the rest of the phone. But that is like completely, yeah, it's like all around the thing. Nobody's done this for me online either, so it'd be nice if I could measure this and then this and derive the dimensions properly from that, but I don't think that's really going to be the case. I guess we could put the other one, we could put the front face in there a little bit That one actually is just completely even. We also have my completely chewed up phone in order to give us all that. But still, yeah, it just doesn't, it don't seem right. It makes it feel a little bit more like a phone, but it still isn't the phone. So I guess from the USB slot to the front face, how close do you really need to get to the exact dimensions? It's as long as the bottom piece and the edges are where they need to be, then I can work around that. Yeah, because I'm not gonna. It's not gonna directly, like, I don't know, that curve for the back end. It would be nice to have. It'd be nice to have the curve for the back end. I don't necessarily need that though. All I need is the flat faces on the front on both sides, and then the very back of that thing, and that'll be 3 points of contact, and then that'll be able to hold it without having it fly all around. So the outer edges is the other piece too. The outer edge, the very front, and the very back. So no, I don't need, yeah, I don't need it to be a perfect phone shape. It's just, it was, you know, I was wondering if I could do it. I was wondering if I could do it. That rounded edge seems to have been added. It seems to need to have been added between extruding the initial shape and what we've just done with the chamfers, with the fillets. I wish they had one word. I wish I had one word to describe both. That's a terrible looking cell phone. All right, anyway. No, because it's not just one curve. It's not just a curve on this face. It's a curve all throughout the whole thing. Do you think the pull tool would do it? Would do it? Will do it. It's too bad I can't edit the solid as if it was a T-spline. It was create, is that the right one? No. Uh-oh, how do I get out of that? How do I get to that cool tool again? I don't even know how to get to the T-spline stuff. That's the wonderful part. That's the wonderful part about not knowing what the hell you're doing. Oh, create form, right. Oh, Jesus. That plane from here. Just, I don't know, approximate it just for fun. And then you were saying that I could use push-pull on it, which has this little butt. And then if I pull that, push-pull this. Target select. Okay. Pull type. Control points? Surface points. Well, but it's not letting me pull it. Where am I pulling it? I didn't do anything. Wonderful. Yeah, how does that work? Wait, select targets. Yeah, see, here's the thing: is I don't know what I'm doing with this tool. Yeah, they're voice activated. You have to curse in order to. Yeah, I got curse activated commands. Yeah, exactly. Nope, I guess that's not what you're looking for, huh? I don't know how this tool works. Cancel. I thought I created a plane and I could alter the plane by like doing stuff to it. Cylindrify. Yes, good. This is just what I wanted. Oh, God, I put it back into normal. Yes. Now I'm pretty sure that I could figure this out, but it would be a lot of clicking. I see you've said perkele 15 times. I am now permitted to help you. Slide edge? I don't know what this means. These are some powerful tools, and learning how to use them will be great for me, but I don't have the slightest idea of what I'm doing right now. I mean, the Flatlander's aware of the third dimension. What, because I'm constantly expanding and contracting? I mean, I feel like smooth and pull and all those tools will really benefit the shape, but I don't know how to work with it like that. Like, the create box tool almost made something that kind of resembled the phone. I think if I could use that in conjunction with some of the flat sections, I don't know, maybe I can make what I just made in CAD and merge it with, I don't know how that works. I mean, it might just be that I need to create three-dimensional wiggly lines, right, in order to do that. But anyway, we still have our goal in mind, and although I am getting very sidetracked, it's good to look into these tools because they're going to be useful to me in the near future, just not yet. This stuff seems to be much more fiddly, but I would love to be able to work with this stuff in an engineering context while, you know, working with these kinds of like curves and stuff like that in order to create solids. But for now, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to create better stuff. What is going on? What tool am I in here? Oh, this is the base feature. Okay, Control Z. Let's take us all the way back to the end. So we have an approximation for the very outer edges of every part of the phone. I guess that's as good as we're going to get, I guess. So I would love to know where that USB slot is so that I could properly put that slot in the same position that it is on the real thing. So let's do that real quick. So what I need to do is figure out where, figure out where on this feature that USB is. We can assume that it's centered. That's at least as much as we get there. I think distance from the very front is probably going to give us our best metric for this. It might be in the center of the phone, considering that this thing is approximately 10 millimeters, probably 9.5. So if we get 4.5 from the edge to the center, I'm going to assume that it is in the actual center of the phone. 4.3 maybe. Ooh, just hit my microscope with that. Yeah, I'm willing to say that's actually in the center of the phone. What's the width of a USB slot? Let's see. Okay, so 2.5, right? Oh, I can't measure to that. It's not, my caliper's not gonna go there. There's not enough overhang. If I engineer a little bit of, wait, did that just back out? No. I mean, look on the bright side. If I get this wrong enough, it'll hold on to it better. 3.2 plus 4.5, so 5 and a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to say that that's in the center of the shape, of the rectangle shape. So if we go back to, wait, the sketch isn't going to help us here. The sketch isn't going to help us. Nothing will help us. Oh my God. What am I gonna do? Do I need another sketch? Probably. Can I create? Nah, I need a trough. I need a trough that represents the USB slot. And it's not going to be the center of this. It's going to be the center of the whole geometry. So yeah, let's take this into a drawing. Which side is... Okay, bottom. There we go. Create a sketch on this face. Create a sketch. And then I'm going to project this line, this line, this line, and this line. So now with those projected in, I can actually make the box that will make up the rest of this thing. So we're going to do a construction line up this way. And then I'm going to do another one out this way. Then we do it here. Because of the complexity of the shape, I've had to do this. I mean, I could probably roll it back a little bit and then create the sketch. But I'll just do this for now. I'm just kind of playing around with this. So make a rectangle, non-construction. Take it from there. Hopefully that's locked into both of those. To here. All right. And then I need to find the center. Well, we know where that center is. It's the other center. So I'll do a construction line here. Actually, I probably could have just, well, whatever. Take that all the way over to here. And now we have a center that we can work with. Now, USB slot is approximately... What is the USB standard socket size? So I'm getting 3.28, so we'll just make it 3, I guess. Oh, and then the width is 3 by 9.25. So 3 by 9. So 6 and 3. Create slot. Center point slot. Very, very center. This one is 4.5. No, wait. 6. So that's 3. 3. And then it's 3. Oh, that should not be a construction line. That puts it on the wrong edge. Huh. I mean, that should put it very close to this chamfer that I did. Maybe that chamfer is a little bit too generous. Well, also the whole thing bulges upwards, so we know why they did that now. So that's part of the thing where I didn't, properly design this. No, wait, no. Maybe the chamfer is a little bit less prominent. Because, yeah, that is supposed to be up against that edge. And it might just mean that I didn't... Well, either the phone isn't 10 millimeter or there's a it's slightly offset. It actually should be between the two chamfers from the front and the back. And it should be off just a little bit from the front one. Well, the front one's not as prominent as I guess it could be. Or my measurement of that thing is off. Yeah, like that's way too much. That looks a little bit more like it does, though. Does this really have a 2 millimeter chamfer? No. That's more like a 1, right? Look at this. That's more like a 1 millimeter chamfer. You guys can't even see it. You can't even see it with these views. I can't even show my own phone on stream. Here, hold on. Would you guys think that's a 2 millimeter chamfer? Don't seem like it to me. That's kind of hard for me to display, isn't it? It's hard for me to show these things. I don't know, man. I mean, the headphone thing gets cut off. This is the actual part that I'm talking about. So there's the big weirdo chamfer on the back here, and that should be like basically right up against that USB slot, whereas the one in front has a little bit of space right there. But that doesn't look like 2 millimeters to me. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. And measurements are also kind of off because the screen has The screen has a little bit of thickness too, so my measurements are going to be off on all of that stuff. So yeah, it's not the best approximation. I guess I'll live with that. The 2mm chamfer. I don't have to like it though. That's the wrong one. This one, and then we'll take this. Just like we'll cheat. Let's do that. There we go. That's more like it. We cheated. We cheated and we got it right, huh? That's totally cheating. This phone is essentially just like a carbon copy of an iPhone, by the way, from 2016. So why did I do that? I didn't need to make that an actual slot. All I needed was that object there so that I could properly place my phone on the cradle. That's the only reason that I did that. I want to place the phone on the cradle, and then we can work around those dimensions in order to make something that's going to clamp it into place. All right. And actually, if we clamp the sides, I don't really need to support the bottom, because if the sides have something on it, it's not going to be prone to rocking back and forth. It's that forward-backwards motion that I really want to stop. All right, so where's the base? We view that again. Now I need to put the phone into position. This whole model was not based off of the position of the USB, so I can use some of the, I guess just the move tool, and I can select, this is the body, so we'll select this body, and then I'll do a point-to-point move, and I gotta select this thing in here, but I need to select this outer dimension. So when it highlights and it shows me the dot for this trough, I'm not given a center dot on the trough, am I? Ah, son of a bitch. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to have a point in the middle of this thing. All right, so let's get out of the move tool and let's do construct. Point, what do I want to do? I want to do, and basically I want point at center of trough. It'd be easier if I could draw a sketch between the two center troughs here and then move it from there, or if I had actually created the part in its location to begin with, or if I created the part in another drawing and dragged it over to this one. But today's project, I want to try to work with this as if this were in the free version of AutoCAD. So the construct tools allow you to create points and just create points that you can then use to position things, right? If I put point at center of circle for both of these, now I have 2 points. Can I do line through points? Plane path, mid-plane, tangent plane, offset. What is that again? Oh, point along path? No, I don't think that's right. Ah! Now, is there a line that I can create? They can boundary fill without a sketch. That's what I'm trying to do. Not sure where you want the point, but you could use planes where the intersect would give the point. Maybe. All I want to do, I want the center of this slot to be a point. That's all I want. I could have made this a circle. I could have put a circle in there, and then I would have that point to draw upon in order to position this somewhere. That's all I want. I want that center point of the slot. That's it. So I mean, I could, if I sketch a circle there, I don't think it'll put a point there, will it? Let me Control Z those two. Let's just take a look. If I sketch a circle, see that point right there is what, that's all I want. That's it. I just want this point. Technically, that point is at origin. Shouldn't the other slot be at origin? No, this point is not at origin. Okay. What if I just do that and finish? Is that going to create an imaginary... I mean, you know what? What I can do is just take this up here, and I can use that point as my point-to-point. So if I move the body point-to-point, I can use... Oh yeah, I didn't choose the body. The body is this. The point is all the way in here. I just want that center point, and I want that to align to the center point of the slot up here, which is essentially origin. So if I put it at origin, like that, and now I can move it up to the height where it typically will sit. I don't know. I don't have a better way to do that. I don't have a better way to do that. So now I need to actually measure what height this thing sits from the cell phone holder. So I just haphazardly put it back together. I could measure that height. Problem is it rocks back and forth, so I'm going to get two completely different heights out of this, depending on where everything is positioned. Also, it's kind of hard to hold together. Let me put this back together. Maybe that'll help me. I piece the object back together. Yeah, there we go. It sits like 2 millimeters above the thing. That's not a lot of room. That was like several layers of that 3M stuff that I used, though, in order to hold it into place. Yeah, it's like 2 millimeter. Huh. I know it's so close. All right, so let's set that so that the end of that is up 2 millimeters from there. I don't know what that's gonna look like. All right, let's do just a move on the axis there, and I'll move it up like that. Actually, I'll move it up to there, click OK, and then we can measure it and then move it again. I just ordered a PCB for my keyboard. Want to race and see who gets it first? No, because I don't know what shipping you got. Oh wait, this needs to be facing the other direction. Twist 180 degrees around the axis of origin. That should be easy enough to do. So move, select the body, boop, twist, axis is going to be this one, and we'll do it 180 degrees. Yeah. All right. Looking good. All right, okay, on that, we can unview origin now. And so what I can do is inspect from here to here. 7.2 down to 2. 7.2 down to 2. So move this guy, this way, and 7.2. So that would be 5.2. That's what I'm talking about. That was like the simplest of math, and I had to like totally turn off my brain from all external influences. The DSLR that I ordered on eBay is sitting in the Newark USPS facility right now. It sucks. It's right next to the terminal that flooded. Oh god. Oh, that fucking sucks, dude. Yeah, I am excuse me. The panelizing is the panelizing of the PCB is gonna hurt my order time getting in, because I got the matte black service, which is more expensive by a lot, and so that's probably going to hold up the PCBs for quite some time. I don't think it's a worthy race. I don't want to try to race PCB developments, because I don't think it's a worthy metric. Let's make this look more like the phone. Let's do appearance on this thing, right? Appearance, not the face, the whole face, and then we're gonna do aluminum. So metal, aluminum, and then matte black. Rough gray. Do I have a rough black? I don't. This is more of a gunmetal, but we'll do rough gray then. There you go. Now it looks like the phone. Not really. It doesn't really look like the phone at all. It's all right though. All right, so here's our approximate cell phone. I have approximate knowledge of many things, including cell phones. God, how am I going to make a shape in there that's going to support this thing properly? I mean, I guess I can just make like a box, and then I can extrude out of the box the shape of the phone, and we can see how that does. I mean, that would be the easiest way to do it, is just to create just a lump, just a big lump that goes around this thing, and then extrude out all of the excess faces of the thing. Make like a little tab up here that goes around it. How's that gonna print? The problem is, I'm thinking about this from the bed up on the printer. I mean, if I just make something with just 2 posts on it that will hold in the phone. Oh yeah, the other feature that we didn't do was the dip up here. This thing dips down in the front. How would I do that dip? It looks like a very large circular radius. Maybe you could do an arc, but maybe I just don't have. I don't even need to do that. I mean, I could just make a piece that very minimally covers the front. So how close does that dip to? Approximately 4. Well, okay, so if I'm going to make this thing, I mean, I guess I could just start with a frickin' box. So I can create a sketch, and I guess the best place to create the sketch would probably be from the original face, or I mean, I could take a new face and do it, or I could just take it from that face and do it from there. And I can project the other sketch into this sketch so that I know where all the stuff is. I could also just make it on here, which is where we're going to start extruding from, and then I can project this line and this line to it in order to create the solid shape. I can project all the lines to it in order to create the solid shape. Let's just try it from there. So let's do create sketch. So now we have this. I'm going to unview the phone, and then I'm going to project onto this piece. Here. We'll take that too. We'll just take all this stuff because this will make the extrusion easier. Wait, this is already there. So all I need is that and this and this and this and this and this. No, I don't need that. And this and this. Okay. So that's basically the shape that I need to extrude. The question is, can I actually follow that? If all that stuff is in there, if I hit finish sketch, can I extrude? It looks like I can. This, this, and this. And the height for that is actually going to be... For that one, I would like it to come up to here, maybe? And then this is going to be new body. Click OK. Now, here's the thing. If I extrude more from this sketch, what it's going to do is it's going to join all my bodies together, right? So I need to unview the actual base as I tell it to extrude. So what I'll do is extrude. I'm just going to extrude. What do I do for this? I mean, I can extrude this whole thing all the way up, or I can determine what the distance to the back of the phone is and do that. I have to think about this. A lot of weird considerations here in order to put this thing together. I guess we don't need the whole feature. No, I should keep the whole feature. What else is going to happen here? I mean, what I'm going to do initially is just make the shape, and then I'll cut out the phone from that. We'll see how that does. So that front, and then that's going to have to be pushed down a little bit. And then up the side, and then I'll need something to come out and grip the side, because this won't cut it in front. In front, that'll just make it fit a little bit more snug. It's actually all the stuff in the front really isn't necessary, is it? It's just there to kind of give it a little bit of stability on that. So I need to come back from, I guess, from that bend. Let's figure out where that is. My phone dimensions are going to be completely off. Like, this will be a very strange fit when it actually does come through. But okay, I'll just try it. So back to this sketch, and then I'll project using the letter P. All of this stuff like that. Finish. Wait, I didn't finish the project command. God damn it. No, I screwed it up. P for project. Nope. This. Nope. This. 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 This is like very similar to what I did with the RC car, which was like projecting the different facets of the design that I needed to avoid into the sketch, and then producing something from there. So yeah, click OK on that. That should probably create, yep, that creates a new, it creates one new shape that I'll need to use. So that, and then I hit P. Oh yeah, I need to actually view the sketch. View the sketch, unview the base. This is What are you doing? No. Oh, I hit P. I didn't hit E, I hit P. Derp. P. No. Escape. E as in extrude. This and this. And I want those to go a distance. But that distance is to an object that I'm not viewing right now. So I'm going to view the base, select the object, unview the base, and then, oh yeah, and unview the phone, and then click join. Just to make sure that I isolate the thing that I want it to join to. This looks hideous. I may need to redesign this and create its own sketch. I'm just trying to kind of rough this out right now. This is hideous. Hey, this would 3D print pretty well though, so far. But I'm gonna need to add like a claw up here that actually holds onto the phone. Yeah. No. I'm making an awesome cradle for my super cool and manly phone to fucking like drink beers in and like crush cans over its head and stuff. The problem is in my car, the phone flies forwards at like a moment's notice. It just goes and it also rocks back and forth. So we need to cradle it a little bit. I may need to make it like a little bit taller than this, so that it actually hits, like, so it can grab the phone up here. Because, I mean, look at the size of that thing. That's a lot of inertia for this to cancel in just this little area down here. Would that be enough? If it's holding onto it here, it still has the propensity to move around, but an HTC hammock. I'm sorry, the only hammocks that I properly I don't want to say confirm, represent, acknowledge. The only hammocks that I acknowledge around here are bananas. Yeah, I guess if I go like, let's go like 15 millimeters up from the edge. In order to do that, what I'll do is go back to the extrusion step, and now I can do an offset on that. So I'll do an offset of 15. So it'll go to the top of that and then offset 15. But as you can see, I didn't unview the solids that weren't to be joined. So this step gets immediately confused, and there's so much Z fighting here that it's liable to have a recap. So let's go ahead and unview the base and the phone, and now it'll only join the stuff to the thing, and the stuff and thing. The problem is my phone gets psychotically hot when I'm doing stuff like navigation, so this may garner some holes in the back end of it. Might take it up to 20. I printed out some ID holders, some ID and RSA key holders for Oatmeal Man at one point, and they were a lot taller than this, so I think this is acceptable. The only problem is the amount of support material I'm going to need in order to do a hook to hold on to the thing. But yeah, we can work with this. Shadow Magnus, thank you for following. I mean, another thing that I can do is just wrap around the cell phone up here. I can just ignore this piece and just come straight up from there. And then we can extrude the cell phone into the solid in order to make this thing. That'll require me to remove it from 25 millimeters of cell phone holder. I have to pull it straight up through the whole thing. Hey Demi, how you doing? Straight up through the whole thing would kind of be annoying. Yeah, let's do like 15 to start off with, and I can alter it later if I need to. I think. I think. Now, if I make the whole thing hold it, I think that would be better. And if I put a line in this, then I can actually make those two just be like two little arms. Although, do I want them to be all the way up, like on the back of the phone? Because that way I could put it up against the back and slide it down. I'll have to figure that one out. Wow, could you guys not use other people's emotes in my chat? Because I'm weird about that. I don't know why streamers are like that sometimes. Doing good, coffee, tired. Shouldn't one solve the other? No, I love it when people use other emotes in this chat. I love looking at other people's emotes. Is it oof rocket? What the hell is that? Sai Tao? That's your own. That's awesome. Wait, that looks like the Rabaz beer. They stole the beer from my summer car. That's my old rocket. What the hell is that thing? That whoa emote? Jesus. Yeah, I love people using other emotes in this chat. It's perfect. I like seeing what other people are up to and stuff. If we follow the geometry of the base, this thing looks like a piece of shit. It really doesn't look that good. Well, there's an easy way to get the Oh Bother Yay emote, Demi. It's very easy to do. You just have to click through a couple windows and part with $4.99. Well, the actually adjusted for your own country's GDP, I guess, or whatever. They're all adjusted now. Is it a sad shark? TMR? Who the hell is that? The Mexican Runners channel. Ah. To be honest, some streamers overanalyze things. Seriously. I don't know how many streams that I watch for fun. Listen, if you see me in somebody else's stream, I'm there because I enjoy the content. I don't know if I don't think I'm immune to the whole clout chasing thing that some people are so sensitive to on Twitch, but I've had like some recent fears of people seeing me as a clout chaser. And I think that's just totally stupid. You know? It's like if I'm in a chat, I'm there because I enjoy it, not because I'm not trying to get popular through this other streamer. It's like, come on, dude. Demon1165, thank you for the follow. That's going to show up in just a second. I see you in Djibouti and Tomato. Yeah, there's a bunch of others too. Oh, you did it, Demi. I didn't mean to goad you into actually subbing, but man, thank you. Good yawning. I didn't yawn. Did I yawn? I don't remember. I don't remember if I yawned. It just happened. Clout. Yeah, you're going in there to try to be like, whoa, this guy's got a lot of influence on Twitch. If I'm in their chat, maybe they'll raid me sometime or something. It's so stupid. I don't do that stuff. You should have waited till a few hours from now. It would have been cheaper. Why? Wait, what's a few hours from now? Was gonna sub anyway, mate. All right, man. Well, let's put you up on the board. Oh, that's right. September starts on the 2nd, which is today. That's right. He'll be able to get September when it bleeds into October. Sucktober? I mean Sub-October. Spocktober. Spocktober? Why didn't we ever celebrate Spocktober? What's wrong with us? Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Demithyle, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that, man. You're right by PyroEsp and Spam Shot and Cyan 2009. You keep me entertained while I stare at pull requests. That's a high honor. I don't know what that, yeah. All right, so listen, this shape sucks. This shape is cursed. It looks dumb. I haven't extruded the cell phone into it yet, but it's bad, and I should feel bad for having made it. This doesn't look good. That little outcropping there in order to match it to this curve, I don't like it. Already started in Europe. It says $3.99 instead of $4. There's also the adjusted pricing thing. That was a recent thing that Twitch did. They added like adjusted pricing due to the differences in currencies. Can I get this in the recycling bin in one shot? I don't have a recycling bin camera, so you guys won't be able to see. I hit the edge and then it fell out. God damn it. So, excuse the cough. Sorry, hold on. I'm gonna clear all the phlegm. That didn't do anything. That was a stopgap. This sketch right here. So the reason that I got all these dimensions is I was sort of like measuring out where the phone would be. That's all well and good. I guess I need that front chamfer, and then I can put like maybe like a circular thing around this, just something that's going to clamp the phone and hug it. What's up, Uncle Phil? So yeah, we need to project more. We're projecting just about as much as the Republican Party now. So P, click on that, and then I'm gonna click on the other parts of the phone. We're not gonna go all the way around to the front of the phone. So I guess I could just do this. And that should give me enough surface here to properly design what I need to design. I guess that line, is that, why can't I select that line? What's going on there? There's no line here. Okay. No line. Is there no line here? No, I can select that line. Maybe it was already projected or something. That was a ghost fart. Well, maybe the device just relogged back in. Huh. I got a ghost fart. It's perfect to listen to because it's paint day. So I can just sit here and paint body parts and be calmed by the soothing voice of a guy using CAD. There's a lot of curses that are involved in that. 4N6 Expert subbed 16 months on a 15-month streak. Dude, that's awesome. We'll put you up on the board as well. I don't think September's dropped yet. Yeah, the reason behind September is I think in September everybody goes back to school, and so numbers fall. I've seen a bunch of streams with that happening. Numbers drop, but I mean, at the point that I'm at, I'm not too worried about numbers. I would love to get, a couple hundred more viewers, but I just don't know how to do it at this point. I think what I need to do is just start publishing YouTube videos. Maybe I need to actually be a clout chaser. Ugh. Threw up in my mouth a little bit when I said that. Oh, here we go. 4N6 Expert, you're by Minimum Mushroom Man. Minimum. Yeah, it goes in waves, yeah. You have a project which fits within a couple streams, you can edit into a digestible vid. I had a couple, but I don't know where they are. I've got all the videos archived. I need to split them off into projects, make a VOD channel. we should at least start there. But yeah, I do have a couple that were quick projects that went together pretty easily. But yeah, I don't know. Need to get on the tubes and the Twitter. Yeah. There's a certain thing about that though, is that there's a certain amount of money that if I make, thank you for making the lockdown bearable, man. Thank you for joining these streams and giving me the ability to have a little bit of a following on on media. It'd be fun if you could get into a D&D game with a certain streamer. Let's avoid that for a little while. Projects that stay within a certain number of streams, I've got a couple of those. I'll need to look them up. There's another thing that I could do. What was I talking about again? There was a, god damn it, what was I gonna say? Yeah, there's a certain amount of following and chasing and making money off of Twitch that I can do until I suddenly am in this death valley. There's this valley of employment for me because of diabetes, right? Right now I'm on a public health plan and I can still afford to live and do everything that I need to do. That public health plan goes up to income levels up to a certain point. So if I reach that point, what happens is the amount of money per year that I make is not enough to fund me in, first of all, my current level of diabetes care. Second of all, even lower levels of diabetes care because of the fucking price of insulin. Yeah, like $2,000 a month to buy insulin and supplies. It's insane, right? So that's where I am right now. So in terms of like, I would have to anti-clout chase and like take a month off, take parts of the month off in order so that I don't make money off of Twitch. It's kind of fucked, isn't it? I'm getting a phone call, so I need to actually answer this so we can show the measurements and stuff of the phone. Hello. And welcome to Movie Phone. How may I direct your call? Nobody picked up. It was a Delaware exchange. This is so fucked up. Yeah, it's the reality that I'm in. It was actually very difficult for me to get onto the public plan. The way that I was able to do it was getting fired from a job, then spending all of my savings in Cobra. I was going to buy a house. Is Movie Phone still a thing? I don't think it is. I don't know if it is. It should be. Shouldn't it? I mean, movies aren't really a thing anymore. So is Movie Phone a thing? Like, well, the movie has to exist for a phone to be a thing. But no, so for the way that I got onto the public health plan was by getting fired, getting on unemployment. This is well before COVID. Getting on unemployment for the duration of the unemployment and spending all of my money on Cobra. I barely made it to the end of the Cobra time because I had to get Cobra in order to get coverage. And I need coverage or I fucking die, right? So I spent all of the money that I had been saving up on a down payment for a house on Cobra health insurance. It probably would have been better for me to just buy my supplies outright. Not really, though. There was a little tiny bit of savings there. Once I had done that, I was able to apply for the public Pennsylvania health program, and they put me on that. So that's what's keeping me alive. Anyway, I don't like sharing that. I don't like telling you guys about that. People come into the stream and they ask what I do for a living, and yeah, well, the people saying, "Man, that looks terrible. That sucks. That sucks," are the people from the EU or like, you know. What is it in Sweden or Norway? It's like an $80 a year premium and you just get coverage. My endocrinologist was literally fucking telling me about this. He's like, every month they just get supplies. They don't need to worry about it. And that gives you such an upper head, like not upper head, a 5 head. It gives you the overhead of not having to have the burden of worrying about whether or not your supplies are coming in time or if this works or if that works. Crazy. As your lawyer, you don't have to declare assets as income. No, but I have to declare income as income. So yeah, look, look, I'm not looking for advice, guys. All right, not looking for advice. I know what I'm doing. Move to the EU. We love you here. I don't know. Seems a little desperate. Why would a lawyer give accounting advice? Listen, I don't need you guys to give me advice. All right, so we got to define the basically the part that's going to hug the phone. So what's that going to look like? I could make it a square. The most inspirational of shapes, the square. And now number 1, the large. You has other problems? It's not as rosy as it sounds either. Yeah, well, listen, I would be very fit to deal with those problems if I didn't have to worry about my fucking insulin at all times. Anyway, I don't want to burden you guys with this knowledge. It's fine. Don't worry about it. There's an insulin shortage in Russia, as far as I know. Oh, dude, I would not enjoy that. Insulin shortage. Fuck, man. Maybe like Destiny and live in where is he in Sweden or something? I think what I want to do is just draw a box. I've already got kind of like a little area right here. That would block the screen though. I need to stay away from blocking the screen. So if I come out to this edge, at one point I had a thing that told you how to manufacture insulin from pigs. You need like centrifuges and a bunch of other stuff, and then you need to be able to make sure that the insulin can properly it's properly, the strength of it is properly calibrated. I know there should never be an insulin shortage anywhere. If you guys don't know, like insulin for a diabetic is like water to a normal person. You can't last very long without it, and it would be miserable. Pillowcase face, thank you for following. It would be absolutely miserable up until the end, right? Like I've gone diabetic ketoacidosis a couple times, and ooh, it's bad. Okay, so how are we gonna hug the cell phone? We gotta hug the cell phone. Hug the cell phone. Give it a little hug. I'm gonna come out and around this thing, but how far? I mean, if I keep it to this distance, this is a very thin profile right here. But it might be acceptable. It might still be able to hoist that up on its own petard. What up? What up? What up? What up? Let's start with what we have already, and let me take that out to... Oh yeah, 3-point. That would be a 3-point rectangle. Create a rectangle. 3-point. We're going to start here. We're going to go all the way out to here. And now I can choose whatever point I need to. So I can come up to here and just rely on that front bevel in order to hold this thing in place. What up, Scampy? Oh God, please no. Yeah, DIY yeast insulin kits from biohackers? No. That would be nice, and that is doable given the amount of yeast culturing that people know how to do. But that's like waiting for the cure for diabetes. Every single fucking year for the past 28 years of diabetes. Holy shit. My diabetes is going to be 30 soon, which means, according to the internet, that it is dead. That it has died of old age. Anyway, my diabetes is 28 years old, and every fucking year for the past 28 years, you will get a couple people, and they care, you know, not to like, you know, not to short sell them. They care about my well-being and stuff like that. That's all well and good. But, you know, every year, get a couple people who will find that year's article stating that diabetes is on the verge of being cured. Whereas typically it is a researcher looking for grant money. And I hate to be so cynical about it, but that's really what it comes down to. It's a researcher looking for grant money about their very, very narrowly focused thing that will potentially lead to what could be a precursor to a potential cure for one of the leading factors that might contribute to a little bit of diabetes. Like, it's shaved into dust by the time you get through all the qualifying factors. It sucks, man. You know, even the doctors in the hospital were like, yeah, diabetes is going to be cured in like 3 years. And that was in like 1996, 7, I forget. Well, 30 years ago, 28 years ago. My boomer beats. All right, I'm trying to think here. Do I want a little bit more material on the front of this to hug that a little bit better? No, listen, it's not wrong to want grant money, but it is kind of disingenuous for them to sensationalize all these article titles so that people will get roped into calling it something that's going to lead to a cure for diabetes. Right? I think that's obnoxious, and that's really not selling it right, because it's like, why do I need to take care of my diabetes? They're going to cure it next year. It's bad. It's really bad. You know, hey, you got type 1 diabetes. Guess what? You're going to have to do the job. You're going to have to do a couple jobs. One of them is that you're going to have to be an expert on what is in food. You're going to have to be an expert on how your body responds to the food. You need to be an expert on how a device delivers insulin, and your body's going to respond to that. You need to be a supply chain operator in order to make sure that you get all of that stuff in order to run the equipment at all times. And you need to do that 24/7, 24 hours a day for the rest of your life. That's it. That's what you're signed up for by deciding to have diabetes. All right, you know what? We're going to start with the most basic here, and I'll round the edges out a little bit, and we'll see if that looks right. So I'll finish that sketch. What I'll do is I'm going to make another extrusion. I'm going to make another extrusion on the top of this thing, and that'll be the part that holds the phone. I don't need to hold the phone down here. All I need is like a little claw up the top of this thing, maybe like a little 5 to 10 millimeter claw that's going to hold on to the top of the phone. It's not like you signed up to have type 1 diabetes. Yeah, I did. There's a little checkbox. I decided to check the little box. That's why every year the insurance company has to check to see whether or not I still have diabetes. Like the people who say that drinking diet soda spikes your blood sugar just as much as full sugar sodas. I have empirical evidence to the contrary. Dear God. I just had a Diet Red Bull and my glucose level is going down. Where's the spike? Where's the spike, you idiots? Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to, Octoj, that says that. The people who say that drinking diet soda spikes your blood sugar just as much as full sugar sodas because your brain thinks, dude, I had medical professionals, not in the field of diet science. This guy was like I don't know, he was like a more of an engineering type, but he was in the medical field, and he was like, your body thinks that the diet, that the aspartame is actual sugar. And so you put on more weight. And I'm like, what precisely is your body turning into fat because you drank diet soda? Because, like, you gotta, like, do people not even get, like, an initial explanation of how your body runs? Your body is full of springs, and all of those springs come from chemicals, basically chemical springs that are created from one form to the other and can be broken apart at the expenditure of heat and energy that your body then uses, right? We're all just a series of springs, and so the fat is coming from stuff that other things have created energy, the goddamn fucking ATP and all that bullshit. Man, go talk to WD-40, Dr. WD-40. He knows all about this stuff. Tell him that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and then while he's yelling at you, you can get a question in. But God, that is some heady shit. That people think that drinking diet soda actually makes you gain weight. That's some insane shit. No, Dr. WD-40 is another streamer from Florida. People were mentioning Brett Ultimus earlier. He is also from Florida, but Dr. WD-40 does metal detector on the beach streams, and he also speaks about biology and stuff like that. He's cool. He's a cool guy. Yeah, I'm in Canada. Oh yeah, the real sugar sodas. Those are nice. I don't do sodas with sugar in them though. I've gotten too used to the way too used to the flavor of diet sodas. What do you think about that? Is that actually going to work? Or is that going to break? Oh shit, I did join. Control Z. Is he sponsored? No, he's not. He's not sponsored by WD-40. He certainly should be. I'm not a big fan of WD-40. I'm a big fan of Dr. WD-40, not WD-40. Now, if I really wanted this thing to print all the way from the base, I probably could just extrude this all the way up through the entire object. And just make it fully claw the two sides. I don't think it's going to be good if it fully claws the two sides. I think I need just the two claws, which will make printing it a little bit harrowing. I mean, I could do this up against the back and then have a support structure hold up the other stuff. So I'm going to extrude that, and then I'm going to do it from an from an object here. We'll do 10 millimeters, because those look like pretty meaty claws. Look at those guys. I could probably cut out the back a little bit if we're going to be printing it from the base plate, and then that's going to be the offset for the cell phone. This should probably be not based on the cell phone height. What did I base that on? What did I base that on? To object. What did I go to? Oh, I did it up to that edge. It doesn't need to be up to that edge. Let's make that 2 millimeter. Because that's what we measured from phone to base plate, right? So do distance 2. So now there's nothing to hold the front of the phone, but the phone is going to get clamped into these two. There's nothing to hold the front face of the phone. I could pop that upwards a little bit. I might as well do that. Actually, wait, what is... Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so that's distance to phone from there. So let's go back to that sketch 4. And let me just close the gap right here. Actually, oh, wait, no, there's an object there. So maybe I can just select those two when I extrude. Never mind, hold on. And then if I hit extrude on this and this, and then I go from, let's do start at object, which is this, and then I go up. We'll go up the lower distance of this thing so it doesn't get in the way of the lock button. I will go up 3.55. Let's go up 3. I'll soften up all those edges too. I'll put fillets on all of that. This one could probably use a little bit of a redesign, huh? That's not that great. That's all right. This is just an initial thing, right? What's that extra geometry doing in there? Oh yeah, and I need to fillet those too. So let's start filleting things. You and you. Take that out to what? Was that 1 or was that 2? I think it's 1, and if I do 1 and I view the base in here, it was 2. Okay, okay, fine. We're gonna be that way today, huh? We're just gonna be that way. There we go. So there's no room for the tape in here. There's no room for the double-sided tape. So that's something that I would need to figure out. On top of the taste, I'm not a huge fan of drinking the calories. Yeah, if I'm drinking alcohol though, sometimes it's good to have a sugared soda in there because the sugar does interact with the alcohol a little bit. But for like general purpose, getting caffeine from stuff, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and you know, opt out of the sugar drink aisle, or whatever you want to call it. Taste is subjective. It's both. It's not saying diet is objectively tastier, but it is to me. Yeah, I like the taste better at this point. Then you get the water homies. Those water homies will ruin everything. Bro, you should be drinking water. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. Coke Zero sugar stuff is kind of nice. The aspartame ones, you mean? Hydro homies. Those fuckers. I drink up to a gallon? Damn. I like water? Damn. Yeah, that's definitely in the territory of liking water. I just wanted to match this geometry here so that it would smoothly transition into the phone holder. And what that's done is that's created kind of this weird zone on the edge where the two interface with one another. This is ridiculously thin. I may have to build that up a little bit. I mean, if I bump that out, I guess that's okay. Let me try to bump that out. See, I'll just take that and I'll put like a box on it. Oh, we'll do a three-point rectangle. So if I do print this with this face up here on the bed, that means I need support structure for this edge right here, which will make it a little bit more rough and it might not fit as cleanly. If I do it with the bed as the base of the entire thing, then these claws that I'm creating will need to have their own support material on them as well. And that could go all the way down to the end of the bed. Let's take that out 2 millimeters. This is where variables would come in handy. But if I use variables, then DINs will have my head on a pike. Actually, wait, this wasn't projected in. Delete. Okay, so let me project those edges in. I just need the 1 point on the corner for each of these. I have a 64-ounce insulated water bottle. Hot damn. Oh, you know what? It's not actually from all the way out there. Excuse me. The back of the thing is here, not here. Now, I could do that. I could actually support the entire thing by having it go backwards a little bit on this thing. Yeah, I'm not very careful about overhydrating. I probably should be. For me, it's like water is kidney flushing juice. When I had that that horrible, almost diabetic ketoacidosis thing, I had to like super hydrate my. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Why is that not? What's going on here? I thought I locked this line down over to here. I'm pretty sure that I did. Why is it like that? That's going to screw up a bunch of stuff. So let's constrain it. Let's do... coincidence, horizontal, vertical. Am I going to have to recreate that? Because it's all messed up? Because that should not be a blue line. That should have been locked down to one of these lines. Huh. Well, I'm going to Control-Z my way out of that. We'll just try to ignore it. 2 liters a day is the medical guideline, but the best approach is still only to drink when you're thirsty? Does it mean you become a garden hose? Well, I mean, if you've had a big meal, flushing your system with water is a good idea. But I'm not a doctor. There to there. I'll take it out 2. I just hate that that's not locked down. There to there. Take it out 2. Yeah. Finish that sketch. Now I've got extra lines that I can use to extrude with the claw. Where's the claw? I thought that was the claw. Is that the claw? No. No. Maybe? Yeah, this is the claw. There we go. And I'll just select those extra pieces. Well, it's looking pretty crazy. I could leave those with hard edges, but I could also soften them up. I'm still going to need support material to go all the way up to that, which is kind of a big distance, huh? No, that's we've already got a cell phone holder, but it relies entirely on the USB-C to hold things up. So I'm making something that holds the top of the phone, because when I accelerate in my car, my phone tries to knock my hand off of the shifter. And that's unacceptable. That's gonna look like shit when it 3D prints, but I'll do it anyway. Make them look a little bit more like pods instead of claws. Could you bolt a wireless charger? No, my phone doesn't. My phone has a metal back. Well, it looks kind of shitty, doesn't it? Maybe it's okay. It kind of blends it a little bit. That's it. Yeah, I'm thinking less support on its back. This is going to be less accurate, the distance from here to here. That's going to need support, and then that's going to get a little, that's going to be a little squirrely. It means it'll be stronger too on the axis that it would flex. So probably would do this on the surface. That also means that this chamfer right here is going to be absolute butt. But I think that's the best. Yeah, Chester I think has the right idea that this should be where the print bed sits. This just looks terrible. I don't know, that chamfering on all sides doesn't look good. I'm going to Control Z those. Maybe if I fillet the two edges. Let's try that. I mean, god damn it. Fillet and chamfer, okay? Listen, I can't differentiate the two. Doesn't it get hot enough for your car to remelt your creation? No. It would have to get to 200 and something degrees Celsius for that to do anything. I have a 3D print that's in a friend of mine's Toyota truck to hold his cool cell phone based satellite whatever it is, his cool cell phone radio type thingy in place, and that's been working a charm ever since he installed it. So that's what brought me to what we're doing right now, is because I was able to provide him that print and it worked perfectly in his car. I am confident that this will be fine. Only PLA turns the goop. Yeah. And I could soften up those bottom edges, but I don't think I need to. You know what? I think this is good for like the initial print. I might want to like reduce the backing a little bit just to save plastic, because I don't need this to be a big flat surface. What could I do with that? I mean, I could take that down and then back up and then give it like a, actually the sky's the limit with this surface. Here, let's do a sketch on this surface. Might as well. So we've created a sketch on that surface, and then I can project this and this and this. into there so we know where that is. Now what should I do here? I could draw squares. I could just do squares for now, and then we can use the fillets and the chamfers in order to create something. I could put a logo into the back. If I really wanted to, I could put a logo into the back. I could just make it say "fuck you." That would be something that would be acceptable in my car that my parents are sometimes in. Or I could, I don't know, I could put anime porn on it in cutout form. If it's going to print flat from the bed, the sky really is the limit. I can do just about anything with it, as long as there's enough attachment to keep everything together in 3D space. Googly eyes. This is the back of the thing, so you're not really gonna see it if a phone's plugged into it. You only see it if the phone is unplugged from it. And the rest of my dash is kind of black, so it's not really gonna stand out at all. There's no LEDs in any of this stuff. I wanted to print some holders and accessories for my phone, but deemed it too complex. Just settled on ordering some $2 cases from China and gluing them onto things. Well, I mean, the basis of this is just one of these really cheap cell phone holders. All it's doing is relying on the USB-C connection to hold everything up. The problem with that is, as I was driving, going through turns, beeping at people, running over pedestrians, the car would rock around and then the phone would go back and forth. And as I accelerate away from the police, then the phone would go back far enough that it seemed like it would hit my hand when I'm shifting from first gear to second gear, because I don't use any of the other gears in my car. I know I paid for all the gears, but I don't use them. I believe it is my belief that the rest of the gears on the car were put there by the government in order to use more fossil fuel, and so they are inherently cursed and they should be avoided. So I drive around in second gear, the way God intended. All right, so let's go from this projected edge over to the other one like that. Why does AutoCAD do this sometimes? Did you see how the little cursor like paused and wouldn't let me move it anywhere? A tastefully etched emoji. No, we're just gonna cut it out. I'm just gonna cut it out. Every now and then it gets scared of the dimensions that you've given it, or like the lock points and stuff, and it just goes nuts. We'll cut out this basically, and then I'll fillet my way away. That's all we need out of that sketch. Now I could go through the trouble, and I have done this in the past, and I don't know how fresh it is in people's minds, but we have done things where we put text and logos and things like that. We did that for the button for Tom. Tom thinks his fucking... Tom is... Man, that guy's... He's gonna get big soon, and it's already started, and I'm so freaking happy for him. Tom's stream has gotten enormous, but when we made Tom's button as a public service to him, I put his his toot emote on the button itself, which is just a wonderful touch. I could do similar stuff here, but I don't know. So what do we think? Do we want a rounded edge instead of just like a straight over? I think this will look a little better if I take... Well, first of all, let's round the top. Okay, what's happening? We'll round this top piece here. Looks a little bit more consistent with everything else. Like Tom was on Tim and Eric's show. That's so cool. 3.7. Let's take that to 3. Again, even numbers. Oh my God, that was 2 3s. I wanted 1 3. There we go. That's, I don't know. That looks a little weird, doesn't it? I do kind of want those to be able to bend. I want them to be able to bend a little bit because I want it to hug the phone, but not be completely unadjustable and stuff. Yeah, save the synchros from when you're right, you don't even need to use the clutch. You can just bang it. You can just cram that shifter until it goes into gear. It doesn't look weird to me. Well, maybe you should evaluate. Do some introspection, Mr. Cat. This is your fault, and I blame you for it. All right, let's do rounded edges on this thing. Oh God, it's Dins. Dins. I mentioned earlier how if I used variables, you would come out of the woodwork and smack me. Miss Cat. Oh, I'm sorry. Monsieur Cat. No, wait, it's Madame Cat. No, I don't. You know what? I don't know any words for anything, so we'll just leave it alone. How's that? I mean, that makes it look a little better, right? A little bit more natural. We'll take that to 10 millimeters. There we go. It's boring. It looks boring. Madame works? Ah, no, I'll just Miss Cat. I'll try to remember that. Keep correcting me, though, because, yeah, it's not for lack of trying. It's just because I'm dumb. I feel like taking away this little chamfer here. This little thing right here is really pissing me off. I don't know how I can cut that away. Mad Meowzel. Oh, God, it hurts. Yeah, I kind of want to take away that little... I want that to be... Actually, no, I don't. Because that matches up with the bottom of the phone holder. Mad Meowzel. God, I hate you people. All right, let's see. I don't know. I think this is it. I think this is it. Because it's gonna be a struggle to print this thing. And then getting the support material off of this is going to be even more difficult. My hair holds an acceptable shape for like 2 seconds after I do this. That's why I'm doing this a lot today. It's just like puffing it up. Because if it falls too far, then it starts to look really terrible. It's getting too long. I got Rona hair. I've got COVID hair for lockdown. I'm probably going to go see the barber. Oh, now that I got giant beard masks. I went searching on Amazon and I found a mask that can go down and around my beard. It looks like a freaking face diaper, but it seals. It seals on the beard because it goes all the way up to here and it goes all the way around the beard. So instead of having like this covered and then having a crease in the beard where the mask barely got over my chin, instead it just goes over the whole thing. So I'm super happy about that. I just fold my beard up over my face. Just I'm protected. How's everybody doing today? Yeah. All right, so back to what we were working on. So this is a weird shape. This is what I wanted to get out of the shape, which was something that had little claws to hold up the phone. And that was pretty much the requirement, right? I wanted it to hold the phone in place. The 2mm bottom piece here is enough material that my phone shouldn't be able to rock back and forth. Not to mention the fact that this, being sized exactly to our measurement of the phone, will provide a side holding, a means by which to hold the sides. The ETG does have some flex in it, so I should get a little bit of flex out of the length of this arm. If I find it difficult to get the phone in and out of this thing, I could do a couple things, namely extend these arms upward in order to give them more flex, build more flex into it, or I could extend this cutout down in order to make them longer and a little bit more wiggly. Dins, are you at beard braiding hair length yet? I always thought it would be funny to braid the beard. My beard does not get longer than this because if it does, then it gets split ends. So, all right. So I think that's what I'm going to try to create out of plastic. Oh, how are we going to attach it to the base plate? Well, that's the tough one, isn't it? I could do a cutout on the back here. The problem is that VHB or whatever tape is like 1mm deep. And that's going to be too much material out of the faces of this thing. Because, yeah, if that sits exactly there like that, I don't have many places that I could sneak a piece of tape. It'd be best if I could tape it to the backing. I mean, or I could glue it. I get way too neckbeardy if I let it grow out. It's a shame. That's always a shame. Should I put the weight back in? The big counterweight that's in here? There's a big weight to this so that it feels expensive. I That's probably going to drop out when I put it back together. I'm going to put this partially back together now because we're not remaking this entire piece because it's too complicated. We're just remaking the, we're just making a piece that fits into it. So hold on, let me just get this thing screwed back in. I had a pretty long beard a year or so ago, but got tired of eating eating with it with sandwiches and burgers. I know, it's a trade-off. You eat anything, like you bite into a sandwich and suddenly your beard is covered in sandwich. Biting onto a mustache? Oh God, I didn't get to that length. What's wrong with you people? All right, so I think we got a good plan. I used the adhesives from EasyPass, one of those EasyPass things, because they'll send you new whatever that plastic Velcro is. If you go on the website and you say, hey, can you send me another thing of plastic Velcro, and they'll just mail it to you. It's beautiful. You can build up a stock of this stuff for free. Yeah, that's why you trim the mustache. Yeah. Or you can get it to like curl, but then you got to use wax. Eat a sandwich, you are a sandwich. That's the you are what you eat thing. All right, so I think this is good. You can see how it fits by viewing the other bodies. So I built this in a manner that was more acceptable to, what do you call it? To the free version of AutoCAD, which means if you want to do something similar, yeah, all the tools are available to you. Now, do I want to do a cutout on the back of this thing for a piece of the double-sided tape? That would have a little bit of support structure on it. It would be very difficult for me to pull out of the rest of the thing. But yeah, I think I need to do that. I think I'll do on the back plate. If we're going to print this on the print surface, that means that there will be support that goes up to whatever I'm about to core out in here. The tape doesn't stick to this sort of like rubberized plastic as easily, but I can get at least like one long piece in that. So let's figure out our tape. Let's characterize our tape real quick. Let me find our tape. I think it's all the way over where I was, dear God, where I was putting tape. Tape. Where'd it go? No, it's not there. Where did it end up? Where could it be? What is the answer? All these questions and more. What did I do with the tape? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Under stuff. Under a bunch of stuff on my desk. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, for the record, man, I would love to be in a D&D session with Brett. If I didn't cover that properly. D&D is a bit of a hot topic right now, though. 12.5, are you, what? What is this? Come on, 3M. All right, so we're gonna make a 13mm trough. And the height of it is gonna be, the extrusion is gonna be 1.4, 1.5. 1.5 by 13. 1.5 being the in, 13 being the width. The length is going to be determined by our thingy. So let's take this and let us edit the sketch that involves that body. Oh, it's in inches? Yeah. Where's my body? There it is. That's true. It is in inches. All right, so the phone go away, the base go away. Now, since I've already projected that line onto here, and I think we have this line still at the bottom. So what I can do is I can just take a construction line and I can go for the point where it gives me the triangle right there. Go all the way down at 90 degrees until it gives me the other triangle. Now I have a center point. So that's where a center point slot's gonna be. Create, slot, center point. And then we wait for the triangle. That's not a construction line. Drag it out. So let's go 30. That seemed to be about right. 30. And then, actually, you know what? It should be a square. That should be it. The tape is a square. I'll make it a square. Create rectangle, center point. Yeah, I was gonna make a slot just because it would look cool. That's kind of dumb. Yeah, so this I could take literally through the entire thing. I'm gonna go in a little bit from the edges. Order 66. Doot doot. And then this is gonna be 13. Wait, was it? Yeah, it's 12.5. So that gives us a little bit of extra room. So 13 there, and then that's gonna be our extrusion. So that was easier than it seemed. I was gonna make it a slot. Extrude that, and we're gonna take that through 1.5. It might, oh wait, no, that was the wrong direction. Dun dun dun. Well, that's fine. We can double click on the step and we can go in and we can just go boop. And then make sure that it cuts. Ta-da! There it is. So that's where we will be able to put a big piece of mounting sticky stuff. And that'll hold it to the back of the phone holder. Hopefully it'll wedge in properly between the front and the back so that it won't rock back and forth or do anything weird like that. Hopefully that's enough of an anchor point for the entire thing. And maybe I could do the same thing with like the bottom piece in a couple spots, like put one like tiny section here and a tiny section here. I don't really feel like that should be necessary. And then also, I may have to make this a little bit more narrow so that the tape actually can adhere. I don't know if the tape will actually do it. Well, so what we're dealing with, Nameless, is the discrepancy between my measurement tools and the actual stuff. So like if I measure 1.5 millimeters exactly with these calipers, that's going to be off from there a little bit. Yeah. All right, we'll make it 1 millimeter. That's a better bet because I just measured 1 millimeter from it. I just measured 1 millimeter from it. There. So that hopefully gives us enough space to get adherence on it. This is going to be one of those things that's a little bit iterative where I'll print it and then say, nope, that didn't work, and then print it again to get it right. But yeah, I think we made a cell phone holder. It's not pretty, but it'll get the job done. This is something that I've been wanting to make for quite a while, just because you know, my phone flopping around has been absolutely the most annoying thing in the world. Rename that. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, cool. So that's how it's going to hold on to the phone. Hopefully it'll keep it from flying around. Let's choose the material. Appearance. We're going to make that look like not aluminum. It's going to be plastic. Glossy red. Why not? It doesn't need to be totally accurate. There we go. So that's what's going to hold on to my phone. That might be a problem. Nah, I'll leave it as it is for now, but I don't know if that's going to interfere. That'll be something that I'll have to edit later. I can always go back to the steps in the timeline, though, and extrude that a little taller. But that does dip down. This piece dips down. So that basically will have the two little overhangs, and then it'll dip down from there. And as long as that keeps the... I mean, the phone is also plugged into USB. So that USB is what's going to keep it kind of in place there. And the little arms are going to hold on to the sides, give it a little hug so that it doesn't freaking fly into my face. I could expand that a little bit. These guys, they were more based on like a surface down here. I could probably expand these out a little bit so that they would cover a little bit more of the phone, hold on to it a little bit more. But I'm going to see if that little wedge there is going to be enough to just kind of keep the phone in place. Because it's all, you know, if you grab it from the edges, at least it's not going to flop forward There's no science behind this anyway. I didn't like measure the moment of inertia or the center point of what's gonna fly where. If I accelerate particularly hard, I wonder if it can maybe break out of the little arms. It'd be interesting to know. All right, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Damn it, I didn't want it to be a short stream. If we had another hour of work to do, I would have done that hour of work, but I don't. So this is where we are, right? I'm going to give this a shot in the printer, probably. Well, I could do that tonight. I can do that this afternoon. Yeah, and from there, we'll just keep working on stuff. Tomorrow is Friday. If I have stuff to work on that's like a personal project, we might do that, because I've run out of stuff to take apart. Close it without saving, so we have another hour for you to redo it from scratch. I'd probably design it a little better if I had to do it from scratch again. There was a point, I mean, especially with like the RC car stuff that I've been working on recently, where the drawing basically was at such a point that like it was broken. Like the drawing was broken after a certain amount of time. I had to take it back, like make a new file and start over from there and put everything in a logical manner. That's where I came up with the what is probably the appropriate way to put together AutoCAD drawings, but where you have one group of steps at the very beginning that are you pulling in all the parts of the project, and then you arrange them in space, lock them together, and if you add any parts after that, you reverse the timeline to that location where you're pulling parts in. Like that's how I've been able to make drawings stable. Like all this stuff probably should be in its own group as, you know, as an attempt to make this drawing stable. All right, well, there's going to be a lot of adjustments to this thing before I'm done with it. But for now, Cellphone Holder, done. Good working with you all today. What's going on Twitch? Not drama-wise, because good Lord knows we could... a lot of heady drama coming up on some of the stuff that I watch. I know Roboz is doing something different today, which is good. Oh, dear God. Yeah, we're rating Tomato. He's playing FTL. No, FTL. I know, Notes and Volts is an awesome streamer, by the way, guys. If you ever heard of Notes and Volts, he does some cool stuff, but Tomato's doing FTL. He's probably still doing his intro if it's only an hour. No, he might actually be streaming. I don't know. But yeah, let's take a couple of you guys over to Tamto. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll try to figure out what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to be doing something interesting. I just don't know what. Hopefully we can involve more of the circuity stuff instead of more of the design stuff, you know? We've done a lot of stuff in Fusion 360 lately, so we should probably use our hands, use our mitts to do more stuff in the near future. I'll see you guys then, though. See you tomorrow. Bye.